What's up, guys? Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Oh man, and looks like we're live. Okay, pardon everything. Literally, like the title says it all. Bored AF, dude. I'm just like, I've got nothing to talk about. I was up all night just doing prep work, trying to get really far ahead. Everything I'm doing. I've got 2 spotlights on stories already in the bag. Ideas for more to do. What's going on, Sean? Yeah, right? Today it just feels like a lazy day. It's cloudy outside. Yeah, I was exhausted, so my wife was like, you know what, babe? You get some sleep. I'm going to take the kids and we're going to go to the water park. I'm like, oh, really? So much. I'm excited. I was excited for that. So I literally laid down. I slept the entire time. Raven, what's going on? Reading Return of Batman at the moment. Nice. How many times have you read that? What do you call it? I don't know, man. So like I'm wearing yesterday's clothes. Like, just to give you an idea of how completely laid back I am right now. That's one of the problems. What's up, man? Well, right. It's just one of those days, right? Freaking first time. Okay, cool. Dude, definitely enjoy that. I actually have 2 more Batman stories I have to do for you guys. I already did Son of the Demon, and then there's 2 more in that trilogy that that Elseworlds trilogy that I said I was going to get back to and do. Maybe I'll do one of those. But I'm kind of like on an Alpha Flight kick now for the story idea. Nice. Suzanne, what's going on, lady? Hey, I made it for a start of a chat. Howdy, Bill. What's going on? Well, I'm just like so tired. I'm too lethargic to even read properly. Like, I'm just I'm wearing yesterday's clothes. That's like one of the pitfalls of being self-employed. You know what I'm saying? I only work for a couple hours a day doing English, teaching English as a second language. You know what I'm saying? And I do it on the internet. So literally, like, I never have to leave the house except when I have to go pick up my oldest son from school. so even like changing my clothes and all that, it's like my wife will remind me. It's like, hey, babe, you're kind of rank. Like, and today's literally just one of those days. Oh, she actually told me, she's like, when's the last time you changed that shirt? I was like, I wore it yesterday, but I also wore it to bed. She's like, yeah, you might want to. I'm like, okay, gotcha. I'm so freaking just. I slept for 6 hours, 5.5 to 6 hours, whatever. I know what time I put my head on the bed. I don't actually use a pillow, but wow, and I'm just like, whatevs, man, whatevs. So literally, just like whatever you guys want to talk about, let's just talk. I threw up a picture of Bullseye there because I'm kind of excited to see that Bullseye they're really, putting out the major hints that Bullseye is going to be in Daredevil Season 3, which could be very cool. It could be, like, radically cool. And we know that Kingpin's going to make a return. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely mandatory. So that's awesome. I was also kind of hoping for some Typhoid Mary. I mean, how sick would that be to just have all 3 of those in the same movie? That would be great. Literally, because, like, she's got that multiple personalities thing going. So she could just be, like, she could just be the new secretary, whatnot, who's always there, always hanging out. They could even combine her with that other character. She just came out not too recently in the Kingpin 5-issue miniseries. Crap, I covered all of those. What was her name? And she just reappeared in Old Man Logan recently. Excuse me, she's I can't remember her name, but anyway, she's the character who wrote the biography of. She ghost wrote the autobiography of Wilson Fisk. It was the way that he did it so that he could be, cool in the eyes of people. It's like, I'm going to be completely forthcoming. Don't hold anything back. Seriously, just let it all out there. Yes, I was the kingpin of crime. I was the bad guy. All those bad things that happened, that was me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I actually did, have gang wars with people. Oh, I didn't try and sell drugs. No. But yes, I did all sorts of bad things. That was me. But I've turned a completely new leaf. I now know what it's like to be a villain and to try and be the bad guy and to try and seek, redress. And now I want to be the mayor of New York. And he became the mayor of New York. I mean, that storyline is still playing out right now. He's kind of indisposed, so Mayor Matthew Murdock is now in charge of New York, which is the funniest little twist. But, you know, like, it's a great storyline. It's amazing. And to actually see something like that being played out here, that would be great. So that that secretary could actually be that woman, but since she's got multiple personalities, you know, Typhoid Mary, that could actually be Typhoid Mary also. It would be totally non-canonical. You know, say it would be a total twist, but I would absolutely love it. Did I hear Super Sons will get a 12-issue mini? No, I didn't. I know that it's going to be in, that's Sean s.h.i.e.l.d. saying that. I know that, what do you call it? The, oh, for crying out loud. It's going to go to DC Zoom. Zoom is for the younger ones. I did a whole video on it, but just really quick, DC Zoom is going to be for the young readers. DC Inc. is going to be for the tweeners, like the young adult stories. Then there's going to be the regular stories that are out for DC Comics, and then you're going to have the Black Label stuff, which is the Elseworld stuff, like Batman White Knight, that 8-issue miniseries by Sean Murphy. So, yeah, that. What do you call it? So I know that DC's Super Sons is going to switch over now to DC Inc. Zoom. It's going to switch over to DC Zoom. So if they're going to be doing 12 issues of that, cool. I'm expecting them to do a lot more. I'm hoping they just ordered a 12-issue treatment, but they're going to keep going. That was just one of the best darn comic book series ever. I'm in love with the Super Sons. Like, these kids, I want my kids to grow up to be the Super Sons. Like, I just want them both to be, you know, like, have that personality of Damian and Superboy. Just, you know, John, just for the sake of conversation. That's great, those two together. Power to the people. Hey, kind of uneventful day for me. Yeah, right? It's just one of those days, man. It's like, it's just karmic gelling everywhere. We're all just kind of, eh. Ah, Sean, yes, you showed me that Machine Man's going to be in issue 603 of Iron Man, which is awesome. I've been waiting for an opportunity to do Machine Man, explained in a minute. What's funny, I'm going to tell you guys in advance, I'm going to do a spotlight and story for that also. Machine Man's first appearance was actually in the 2001 A Space Odyssey Marvel treatment, which was interesting. His first authentic appearance is actually in there, and he was so different that Marvel just kind of kept him and just made a Machine Man instead. I've actually got the figure right up here, hiding behind Iron Man and Black Widow. Yeah, I love me some Machine Man. He was great in the Red Hulk series. Raven, Solo was okay. You know what's funny? You are the most neutral I've heard yet about that. I've heard people like, oh my god, it's amazing. And then I heard Midnight Sun. I like the Midnight Sun channel on YouTube. Midnight Sun, is it called? I think it is. And it's just, oh my god, like the guy got in there, he just completely tore it apart. I'm like, whoa, really? And then I started looking around, and there are a bunch of people who are bad-mouthing it also, and that's shocking. I heard so many good things about it. I was like, I might have to go and see this, but I haven't even seen Deadpool 2 yet. I know all the spoilers and all that stuff, so it doesn't bother me, but I still haven't seen Deadpool 2. I got it. Maybe I should go do that this weekend. Why not? Yeah, it's the weekend. So, power to the people. Yes, Typhoid Mary to appear. See, that's what I'm talking about. Typhoid. She doesn't even have to be like the main thing, but like you can't put everything on Bullseye. So to have Typhoid Mary show up, and you never know whose side is she going to be on. Is she going to be innocent? Is she going to be on Matt's side? Is she going to be on Kingpin's side? Is she going to be going straight up against, you know, Bullseye at some point? Are they going to then turn around and suddenly, you know, both of them go after Matt? Like, that would just be amazing. I would love to see something like that. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit. Suzanne. Yes, you still came to broadcast for us. Awesome. Let's talk X-Men storylines. Absolutely. Bring it up. Well, you did bring it up, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like, talk about something. I'll talk about it. Yes, X-Men. Jesse Johnson. Typhoid Mary sounds really cool. Oh yeah, I actually haven't done her explained in a minute. Oh, what I was saying before is yeah, I was talking to Jim Zub on Free Comic Book Day because he actually showed up, which was totally awesome. I asked him, I was like, "Hey, dude, could you?" That's like the pitfalls of being a famous writer or artist and commenting on one of my videos of your reviews, because you're like, "Hey, man, thanks a lot for all the you know, all the cool things you said, everything. It's like, oh yeah, hey, sure, no problem. Hey, by the way, why don't you show up at Gotham Central, you know, where I'm at, and let's hang out and talk and stuff. And it's like, okay. Yeah, I totally, like, I'm irreverent. I'd be like, I'm glad you liked it. Now do something for me. Show up. Let me get your autograph. Let's talk something. So yeah, Jim Zub showed up and he showed me what Riri Williams' new armor looks like. And literally it was hush hush because he's like, come around over here, look at my cell phone. And I'm sitting there looking, I was like, oh wow, that actually looks really good. So that little bit that they showed us with the pink on it and things like that, yes, it is actually in the armor, but that image that they showed looked terrible. That's like the worst image they could have possibly shown of what she looks like. The actual image, just the concept alone, was so much cooler. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what Sean Isaacs is going to be doing in the Champions comic book exactly, but I saw the original concept artwork and it was gorgeous. It actually looked like that. I can't remember what the name of that Tony Stark armor was, but it looked like it was more of a play off of that black and gold armor that he had as opposed to anything else. There was some pink in there to highlights, but it looked like it was more just like the energy lines, you know, that would appear in like a Tron style armor. So it looked a lot more like Tron than whatever that was at the back of the Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk comic book. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. Brevin Campbell, go see Deadpool 2. I absolutely will. I just have to. I'm not there yet. What is this? Wow, it kind of flew through. Okay, Sean, Bill will. Sean says, Bill, reader will make a Mike Murdock, a real person. Oh, really? Are they going to do that? Way back in the day, Daredevil had a twin brother, and he was just brought up recently in the You Are Deadpool issue number 4, which I thought was kind of cool. Daredevil for a while went and explained the idea that Matt Murdock and Daredevil were never in the same room at the same time before, because they're like, oh yeah, Matt has a twin brother named Mike Murdock, and he's also blind. I think they also did the blind thing for him. Can't remember. I think they did, but even though he doesn't really have to, except with reading. Anyway, so yeah, that was a long time ago. Wow, I need to go back and read those. Sure, I'll get to that like by next year. Anyway, so that would actually be pretty cool if Reader shows up and shows. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because he's got the issues with his eyes also. That would actually be pretty fun. See, that's what I'm talking about. Charles Soule, he's hysterical, man. Like, he's got great ideas. Okay, Jesse Johnson also saying Super Sons will be getting a 12-issue mini. Okay, cool. I'm down. I'm so down. Sean, Machine Man, and Jocasta in an alternate reality had a kid. I don't remember that, but that's kind of awesome. I hope they actually do something with it instead of just leaving it. Suzanne, Super Sons is pretty incredible. I don't know why they would not capitalize on that. Exactly. If they could find kids who could play... You know what? Forget that. DC Universe, forget about the stupid TV shows. Sorry, some of them are stupid. Forget about the dumb movies and all that stuff. Do something animated. Why do we not have a Super Sons animated special? Nobody does animated superheroes better than DC, than Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, boom! I think that they actually bypass a lot of Warner Brothers, and it's just DC directly doing that because Bruce Timm is in charge of all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, let's just get some Super Sons animated movie, or even a regular old TV series. Why not? So you know, animated TV series like Teen Titans and Justice, Young Justice. So Sean, Hulk might kill Sasquatch in Immortal Hulk 4. I would actually be kind of okay with that, because if you think about the possibilities, Sasquatch lost his Great Beasts ability. You know what I'm saying? He's completely in charge of himself. He doesn't berserker out anymore, but he's also only at like 10% of his original strength. So if he were to be killed, that Great Beast could actually take him over again, and then we could have Walter Lankowski come back from the dead-ish as, you know, the Great Beast again. That would be cool, because I would love to see Sasquatch back at full power and just actually have an Alpha Flight comic again. That would be great. And if they did that, I think that they're going to get Jim Zub to write it. I'm just saying. It would either be him or Ed Brisson, but I think it would be Jim Zub. Zub needs a second story to be writing, not just, 4-issue mini like Madripoor Nights, whatever that was called. He actually needs a regular thing so he can go back and forth with. And since he's already doing, the Champions, and he's got that brand new Canadian hero in there, which I just need more pictures of, and then boom, all of a sudden, you know what I'm actually doing? I'm planning on doing the the 10 things about Alpha Flight characters, just because I love Alpha Flight so much, and I just want to forget about what's going on in the movies. I want to forget about all that nonsense right now. I can't keep up with everything in the movies because they'll drop 2 different trailers in the same week, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, who do I do first? And I gotta do it immediately. So all the explained in a minutes that I've, the 10 things about videos that I've already got done, I can't even use them now. I gotta use this instead. I'm dying here. I wanted to do the Eternals in the worst way. I want to do the Eternals and the Celestials. Just you know what? I think I'm just gonna settle back and I'm gonna do Alpha Flight, because that's actually what I was talking about before. Is Jim Zub and Sean Isaacs did the Master of the World, which I just put out today. I just put it out today. Master of the World, explained in a minute, and the Spotlight on Story for the first 4 issues and the first appearance in X-Men 120 of the Alpha Flight. So, that was fun. That was fun. It wasn't like I was doing homework or anything. It was just let's reread one of my favorite comic books ever and just boom, put that out there. So that was great, and I'm just you know what? I could do Puck. There's an issue I could do much later on, and there's issue 5 I could do. I could do Snowbird issue 6, and there's some other issues I could do also. And I could just start talking about everybody in the Alpha Flight, and then by the time I'm finished, I'm hoping that there'll be enough images out of Snowguard, that new character that they created, so that I can make her explained in a minute, because I'm really excited about what they got planned for her. And for the sake of conversation, her powers are a lot like Snowbird's, just saying. So, yeah, that would be, for me, that would be amazing fun to do. And then maybe I need to do some DC characters. But anyway, let's see. So, yeah, killing Sasquatch wouldn't be such a bad idea for me, Sean. Ghost Skittle, same, Bill. Haven't seen Deadpool and Solo. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to see Solo now, because it's so split. Shoot, just missed it. Bang, da bang, da bang, da bang, da bang. There we go. Sean says, should Wonder Man get his own Solo again? No. No. If they're going to do something with Wonder Man, because I loved the Wonder Man stuff. In fact, I just won this. Yeah, I don't even have any new comic books this week. I just won an auction earlier in the week, so I should get it pretty soon, for the Wonder Man Solo series. I think it's everything from the Solo series. I love that stupid Solo series. It was great. It's another example of Captain America teaching somebody much more powerful than him how to fight, and showing how totally awesome he is, just saying. But he was teaching Wonder Man some judo, or in Marvel Face Rip terms, martial arts A. Anyhow, so he yeah, all sorts of cool things happened there, but the series didn't last for a really long time, even though they brought back the Nega Bands and Rick Jones being, the wielder of the Nega Bands again. Nonetheless, as cool as that was, the fact of the matter is, it wasn't as exciting as it could have been. But if Beast were in there the entire time, now that's something entirely different. Now you can have Beast and Wonder Man in a twin solo series, and these two knuckleheads just getting into the worst kind of trouble imaginable. You know what I'm saying? Beast and Wonder Man together are they're some of the best. I know there's Batman and Robin. Go away. Not interested. It's like nobody wants to necessarily see Batman and Robin again. But even the people who don't know Beast and Wonder Man and the crazy adventures they always have together, all of you need to learn the majesty that is these two knuckleheads getting into the worst kind of trouble imaginable. So I would love to see those two in a series. Even if they just make it for a 5-issue miniseries and then leave it open that maybe it'll come back. That would be great. I would love that. Raven, Deadpool 2 was pretty good, whereas Solo was a prequel. Yes. That sounds about right. Okay, that sounds about... Yeah, I hear you. Okay, but at the same time, the guy who did that, actually wrote, the guy who wrote that story actually wrote it as part of a trilogy, which is interesting. Apparently he actually wrote Solo as part of a trilogy, so that says something. Will they actually do it? Depends on, because I saw news that this might be Disney's first Star Wars flop at like 102 million, I think they were at. So yeah, that's wicked. We'll see what happens. Brevin Campbell, Jim Zub sounds fun. Jim Zub is cool. He's a very cool person. I love his work so much. He's my favorite modern day writer that as long as I don't get annoying to him, I actually want to seriously make public a lot of what he does. I want to be like one of those advocates. There are few people who I actually want to be an advocate of what they do, but he is one of them. I think most people know I'm a huge Hawkman fan. So Brian Hitch and Robert Venditti, they're doing the new Hawkman, which is supposed to come out next month. It's supposed to come out in June. And I know that Hawkworld is really covering them, which is cool, but I kind of have a bigger base than Hawkworld as far as people hitting every day. You know what I'm saying? So if I like what I'm seeing with Hawkworld, with what do you call it, the new Hawkman series, I will absolutely try and get in contact with Venditti and Hitch and be like, listen, dude, give me some inside skinny. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to start explaining these characters. You just tell me what I need to put out whenever. And like, if you got a new villain showing up or something like that, or you don't need to do new villains with Hawkman. The guy's got so many amazing villains. Forget about it. He's got a great rogues gallery of villains. It's just not a huge rogues gallery, but what he's got, it's amazing. Shadow Thief, what do you call it? Half Set, and Gentleman Ghost. Those are three of the absolute hands-down best villains imaginable, in my opinion. But and there's more. But what do you call it? Yeah, I would love to just be like, oh, you're going to be doing this villain on this issue? Okay, let me know, and then just boom, I'll put out the explained story, so that all of a sudden people, I don't really know who this character is. I don't know how excited I can get for it. Boom! Explained in a minute. Bang! There you go. Or 10 things about, and all of a sudden people will understand better who these characters are. Like I said, there are few people I'm willing to do that for. Jim Zub is absolutely one of those people because I love what he's doing, and depending on what Venditti's doing, I might do that also. I loved his Hal Jordan run, even though I'm not reading his final arc. I loved what he did with him, and it makes me feel like he'll be good at Hawkman. We'll see. So, Sean, so glad Marvel has done a lot with Man-Thing. Yes, they need to do more. They need to do a lot more. Seeing him showing up with for Weapon H could actually be really fun. That's the thing. You never know. Like, I did Man-Thing explained in a minute, and like, he's a hard character to do because he's one of those characters who can easily be written as not street level, but about as strong, about twice as strong as Luke Cage. You know what I'm saying? But he can also be played as somebody who can go toe to toe with the Hulk, literally. So, like, what power level is he at? Is he at Spider-Man level power, or is he at, stronger than Black Bolt level power? Because you never know. He's such a fluid character in more ways than one that it's funny how much you can do with Man-Thing. So, but at the same time, R.S. Stein did R.S. I think it's R.S. Stein. R.L. Stein. Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps? Wrote that 5-issue miniseries for a limited series for Man-Thing, and it's like this was not good. The first 2 issues were pretty cool because I thought I knew where he was going with it, and then he just took it a completely comedic route. I'm like, this is not scary. This is cute. This is funny. This is like, I'm eating green-colored cupcakes or something like that. This is, and fake worms with a blindfold over my eyes. Like, this is dumb. And I didn't like it. It was very disappointing. So I understand if they're going to try and stay away from a Man-Thing series right now, but yeah, you got to build him up and make him an actual credible threat again. And if he can hold his own against Weapon H, that would be something else. boy, Greg Pak is suddenly making a turn, right? He's paying attention to a lot of the fans and realizing that we were holding on to Weapon X because there was a lot of good there, but we were really disappointed with the way that Sabretooth was being portrayed. So he turned around and he did a complete 360 with Sabretooth. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, Sabretooth is all set, like it's only an issue. It's only an issue, and he's got to be able to keep up this momentum. But dude, Sabretooth turned beast mode, and he is awesome right now. So if they keep that up, oh, I'm never leaving Weapon X, you know what I'm saying? And Weapon H, of course, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so moving on, Suzanne. Oh yeah, I love the storyline of Madeline Pryor. Yes, I'm so disappointed. Just to hold on to that for a second. Madeline Pryor's first appearance is the same first appearance for Rogue. That's Avengers Annual number 10. And I was bidding on that in an auction. And the guy an online auction, and the guy who was running the auction wasn't using proper time. And I was trying to snipe in a last minute, bid. And the guy canceled he ended the auction 30 seconds early. 30 plus, almost 30 to 50 seconds early. So I'm trying to send the bid, and I was like, "What do you mean it's closed?" And I'm looking at the time. I'm looking at my smartphone. I'm looking at everything. I was like, "What's going on?" I contacted. I was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm really sorry." I was like, "Really sorry? You just lost more money." I was like, "What are you doing? Like I got outbid by you, the guy who's making the auction." I was so mad. And that's also the one where Rogue steals her powers, Carol Danvers' powers. Like, so much happened in that, Avengers Annual number 10, and it's like, I had it, and I was cheated. I was so mad. Anyway, but yeah, Madeline Pryor appeared in there also, and then of course there's X-Men Inferno, which is going to be such a wild spotlight on story. So to continue, Suzanne says, she was always somewhat tragic being, a clone of Jean Grey, and created only as breeding mare by Sinister. Exactly. And more than that, the idea that, dude, a lot of people are like, I love Cyclops, I love Scott Summers, I love him. Not me. Not me. I was always like, this is the guy I love to hate. And of course the idea that he and Wolverine always, never got along, they were always butting heads, was perfect for me because I loved Wolverine. And while Scott could be kind of cool, if you remember back in the early X Factor days, like the first volume under Louise Simonson, Scott Summers left Madeline Pryor and their son when Jean Grey came back. That is like the biggest dick move ever. It's like, dude, I'm done with Scott. There is no coming back from that. I can't believe he pulled something like that. Like, deadbeat dad, you're done, son. You're done. So all the times later when they made Scott a villain, finally, I'm literally in my mind. I'm like, finally. And everybody's like, Scott was right. Scott was right, dude. You're not reading the same comic books I read. No, Scott became worse than Magneto in many ways, and Scott left Madeline and his child, man. And look what happened. Look what happened. So, like, that is what caused Inferno, all that stuff, because she wound up going super bad. So crazy. It's like, I don't think you guys are reading the same comic books I'm reading. Scott is not a good guy. You can't recover from something like that. So, yeah, I'm feeling you. She was a very tragic character, man. Sean, Phil Noto will do the art for Daredevil after 605. Okay. Okay. I don't know if the art could get much better because I'm really liking the art right now. The art wasn't great, and then suddenly it picked up, and if Phil Noto is going to jump on, that should be a good thing. Avengers 696 will end the first arc. What does that mean? Because Avengers 696, we're at Avengers number 2 right now, so that's a really long arc. I'm joking, but okay, I need to know the translation of that one. Where is that going to be? Because I think the most recent, the final issue was 682. So if we're at 684, okay, so we're going to be going for a while now. Anyway, Barry Lamb, hello brother, welcome to the channel. have you been reading the Gideon Falls series? If so, what do you think is my favorite series right now? That is actually really good because that was supposed to... That's Robert Kirkman, the same guy who did The Walking Dead. And Kirkman was of the opinion, he's like, dude, I am so sick of writing the Walking Dead. It's like, I just want to kill everybody. I just got to find a nice way to do it so people don't get mad at me. But he's like, yeah, he wanted to start doing the Gideon Falls, which is a project that he'd been planning for 2 years now. He wasn't playing around with that. 2 years working on this before the first issue actually came out. They put out a when issue 2 came out, they put out a statue that did not sell very well because when Gideon Falls did come out, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, what's this? Is this a new Walking Dead or something? But I read the first 3 issues. I reviewed the first 2 issues, and then somebody else on my channel, I had somebody else do, somebody else was like, I want to do the Gideon Falls 3. I'm like, psh, it's all yours. I think it was actually Comic Boom who did that. But yes, awesome. So and he liked it also. I think he's actually more into it than I am, which is really good to hear. So yeah, he could keep on doing it if that's the case. I'm happy just reading it and not having to do a review for it personally. But yeah, I love Gideon Falls. It is such a high concept. You know what I'm saying? Like there's 2 different dimensions, and this one is evil. You know what I'm saying? This one has like creatures and vile creatures killing each other, and this one over here is just, you know, our world. And they're trying to recover from the schism that happened. But this guy's trying to go over and save the people who are there. But for the most part, the people who he hasn't saved yet don't actually want to go back because they've got boring lives back over there. But over here, they're superheroes. Not in so much that they have superpowers, but they have to fight these monsters. And they're better off, in their opinion, they're better off. They're actually enjoying their lives over there. And that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a completely different concept. You know, so that's, yeah, it's a great series, very imaginative, perfect for the CEO of what is it, Image? No, crap, yeah, it's Image Comics. He's not the CEO, is he? Anyway, he's somebody in charge. He's somebody in charge. So anyway, yeah, like literally, it came from Kirkman. Ah, that makes sense, right? So yeah, Gideon Falls is fantastic. Go Skittle, what's up, dude? Can you do a spotlight and story on Watchmen? Yes, I can and I will. I know I just did, not too long ago, V for Vendetta, and you have to be careful getting sucked into Alan Moore's world too much. But yes, I will one day do a spotlight and story for the Watchmen. The thing is, like, I'm more of a fringe channel, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I will do it, but I know that plenty of other people have covered that, you know what I'm saying? And I try to avoid doing the things that other people have done a lot. So, excuse me, I try to do the more out there stories that not a lot of people are going to know necessarily. So, you know, I will of course make the exception for like the Court of Owls and things like that, but like I want to do the Acts of Vengeance, you know what I'm saying? I'm so hot and bothered about doing Acts of Vengeance and the follow-up with Magneto. You know what I'm saying? Magneto versus the Red Skull, which was just, of course, why wouldn't we do this? You know what I'm saying? Magneto, Red Skull just came back. You know what I'm saying? This kind of leads to Magneto becoming a good guy, like, for real. Just really amazing stuff in there. Yeah, F the Tri-Sentinel. That was cute. You know what I'm saying? Cosmic Spider-Man. Yeah, that was cute. But no, that was the real story. And to think that all of this just was a breeding ground for that to happen was amazing. And a lot of people didn't know the follow-up stories that happened where the Red Skull was able to escape and what he did afterwards. So, like, that's why that's one of my favorite, you know, concepts to do right there. So I like to do more of those. But yes, I will eventually do Watchmen. I'm sure I'll probably do Watchmen before the end of this year. I might even do it this summer. We'll see. You know what? Maybe before Countdown, whatever that new one is called. I can't remember because it's a freaking tri-month, once every 3 months comic at this point. The Countdown Clock, whatever it is. Suzanne. Plus the fact that Scott totally ditched her once Jean Grey came back, throwing her away. I just said all that stuff. I'm sure you typed that stuff before I got to it, though. So, yes, exactly. More of a jerk than sinister when you think about it. No, exactly. Hey, Roy MacArthur, Jesus, how are you, Professor? Everybody's going to yell at me, don't ever do that stupid accent again. See, in my head it sounds awesome, but I know that once it comes out... I remember, it first happened, I think I was 14 years old? No, 12. I had to have been 12. I was 12 years old when Freddy's Dead had come out, the part 2 of Nightmare on Elm Street. I used to listen to that first album. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper, from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Yeah, it was a double album. You know what I'm saying? And I actually had I had the vinyl. That's how old I am. I had the vinyl. It opened up and it was 2 different albums. And yeah, the first album was great. The second one had Charlie Mack on it. You know, say his name's Charlie Mack and he's the first out the limo. Like, best song ever. I will fight people over that song. That was a great song. But yeah, the first song, like it had the first album had all of the crazy cool songs, including Nightmare on My Street. And I used to, you know, sit there and do the songs like the souls of your friends you and I will slay, because you've got the body and I've got the brains. And I used to think that I had the greatest Freddy voice in the world, and people are like, you suck. What? No, I've got the coolest Freddy voice ever. Like, no, dude, that's because you're hearing it inside your head. If you played it on a tape recorder, you'd hear you do not have a good Freddy voice. Like, really? Really? I was so disappointed to learn that it sounds different outside, you know what I'm saying, of my head. Like, I thought it was the best. I thought it was the best. Anyway. So, what's going on, Rory? Raven. I said that 3 movies ago. Crap, you also wrote that like 12 conversations ago, so I don't know what you're talking about, but, yeah, no, so, sorry, I'm lost. Shots to dry. And then, Grant making him cheat on Jen with Emma made it even worse. Yes, it did, but he's literally just, like, Grant Morrison literally took it as, duh. You know, say that's who Scott is. Kevin Smith thinks Alpha Flight should get a movie. Yes, but not by Fox. Fox was planning on making an Alpha Flight movie. And I'm like, oh, God, no. No, please, God, don't let it happen. Don't, please, because then it's just that much longer that we're going to get a really good movie, you know, from the MCU. So, no, don't. Let Marvel get it. Ooh, and that's actually a big thing, too. Comcast is planning on jumping in with an extra bid and whatnot. That's kind of dirty pool, but whatever. I don't think it's going to happen. Here's the thing. A lot of people have been trying to do bids, and Comcast actually already did a bigger bid than what Disney did. Here's the trick of it. There's a reason why Fox went with Disney instead, because Disney gave a guarantee. You see, Comcast is like, listen, I'll give you more per share for the property than Disney will. The thing is, that's if the deal actually goes through. If it's not the FCC, but whatever, if the government allows this deal to be made, and it passes the Monopoly Committee, then I'll tell you what, man, I will absolutely give you all of this money. But if the deal doesn't go through, then no money. You get no guarantee, no nothing. So that's, but Disney, meanwhile, like, listen, we're not going to pay as much as those guys. No, we're going to give you a whole lot of money, and you're going to make a ton of money off of it. But we're also going to give you a guarantee. You say that you're going to go with us, and you stay with us, and as long as the monopoly, non-monopoly thing goes through, then you get all that money. But if it doesn't go through, we're still going to give you this much money. So Fox is looking at that as, whoa. So we'll be able to keep our properties, and we'll still get this guaranteed money from you? Heck yeah. So it's the safe bet. You know what I'm saying? It's genuinely the safe bet to go on. So why wouldn't they go with Disney? You know what I'm saying? So I don't like Fox would have to be seriously swooned by Comcast, and Comcast would have to give that guaranteed money project also. But I don't think Comcast is going to beat Disney. I mean, dude, the top 3 are right now Fox, Comcast, and Disney. But I don't see Disney allowing those properties to be lost. That's just me. And again, I don't like the idea of monopolies, and it absolutely will be a monopoly. But at the same time, I just really want to see the X-Men and Fox properties go back to Marvel. That's all. That's it. That's all I'm in it for. Akuma Ranger, what's going on, dude? Ah, crap, the whole thing just jumped. Okay, let's go back to where Akuma Ranger was just talking. And let's see if I can't read through these a little bit faster. Come on, man. What just happened? See a whole bunch of other people in here. Hold on. I'm trying to... Come on! Where'd it go? Wow. Okay, I really need to start reading through these a whole lot faster, because you guys are seriously typing like crazy. Okay, finally picked up the first 2 issues for Jason Aaron's Avengers, and was wondering, since Carol and Jen are on the same team again, do you think that Jason will address where they stand since Civil War II? Dude, Carol and Tony are on the same freaking team. You know what I'm saying? If Jason Aaron doesn't address that, then I can't necessarily blame him, because he's not the one who left that wide open. It's cute that somebody will jump on a title and then, you know, or an event like Civil War II. I didn't say it was a good event. Anyway, jump on an event and then turn around and say, oh, we're going to leave this open for the next writer to handle. That's actually really weak. That's genuinely weak sauce to do something like that, because that's not cool. Because I wouldn't want that. Because then think about it. Here I am. All of a sudden somebody says, Professor Bill, you have done a really great job on everything you do, and now we want to offer you the Avengers title. Oh, yeah, awesome. All right, yeah, cool. All right. And then all of a sudden, I get a call from the last 3 guys who were writing, the last 3 people who were writing for the Avengers characters, or for different characters in their own series. Like, hey, listen, I actually left this one storyline open. You think you can seal it up for me? Yeah, maybe I might, you know, try. But they say, listen, what I was actually hoping was going to happen, now who's really writing the book? You know what I'm saying? So if somebody else leaves a storyline open, yes, I would like to see it wrapped up by somebody else. And somebody else can do that. That's genius. That's awesome. But I want to be writing my own book. I want to be writing my own stories. I don't want to be writing somebody else's stories. I don't want to be finishing up their stories. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of on them. So I know a lot of people don't like Brian Michael Bendis and Dan Slott. I'm just going to name those 2 specifically. No, I'm also going to name Mark Waid. I'm also going to name Mark Waid. A lot of people don't like these 3 guys. But the genius of these 3 individuals, and also many other writers also, to be able to write in crazy storylines, but also finish their storyline. So if you like their storyline, cool. If you didn't like their storyline, cool. But they're not leaving anything for the next person to have to write, unless, of course, they're asked for. And Bendis and Slott, those 2 are like bosom buddies. Those 2 are like BFFs. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that was left over from Iron Man, the Invincible Iron Man story, that could slide over to the Tony Stark Iron Man, written by Slott, so Bendis to Slott, would be the Leonardo da Vinci thing, which technically he doesn't even have to cover, because even that and the Riri Williams thing and the you have to read issue number 600. Go and check out my review, whatever, and see that little storyline that was left hanging. That's the hanging storyline. That could be covered in a new S.h.i.e.L.D. comic. You know what I'm saying? If Hickman wants to come back and write more, or somebody else wants to write the S.h.i.e.L.D. 2 or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can jump on that. So, you know, like aside from that, though, people being able to finish their own storylines before they leave a comic book is kind of genius. So I like that. You're setting everything back to 0, which is perfect. You know what I'm saying? I prefer that. I definitely prefer that, so that the next person can come up and just write their own story instead of picking up where the other person left off. That's not fair, and I would not want that pressure on myself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when all of a sudden the fans will be like, this guy was writing a great storyline, and then this guy picked it up, or just dropped it, or just did a horrible job with it. That's not fair. That's not fair. If you were doing that storyline, finish it. You know what I'm saying? So, Ghost Skittle, do you think, I don't know what name that is, write Logan's new book, Charles Soule, Zub, Tom Taylor? There's a lot of people you're mentioning there. So who do I think should write Logan's new book? Honestly, I don't know. Whoever wants it. Because, like, I could say Ed Brisson, because I think that he would do a freaking bang-up amazing job, but the question is, does he want it? You know what I'm saying? Does he want it? So I'd rather somebody who wants to write it, rather than somebody who's, like, you know, assigned to it. You know, say if you're assigned to, you remember back in school when, like, here's these test questions in the book. It's like, okay, you do question 1, you do question 2. It's like, I don't want to do question 1. Question 1 sucks. You know what I'm saying? I want to do question 5 if I'm going to do anything at all. All these writers want to participate, but who actually wants to do what? You know what I'm saying? Boom. Let's see. Sean is voting for Charles Soule. Kevin, hey professor, how's everything? Sorry I'm late to class. No worries, brother. Kevin, who? Do we talk? Have we? I'm sorry. Is this an? Anyway, if you're new, welcome to the channel. If not, hey. I don't remember just Kevin. Sorry. There's a Doug. Hey, where is Rick Jones these days? Rick Jones is dead. Rick Jones just died in issue number 5 or 6 or 7 of the Secret Empire event, written by Nick Spencer. Yeah, he was executed by the evil version of Captain America, the Hydra Captain America. Yeah, I know. So that's kind of messed up. Suzanne McGinnis, what's going on, Doug? Also, I saw your tweet last night. I gave it a like, and I'm just like, of course, freaking Doug is going to know who the Plodux is. All these people talking about Plodux. Who's the Plodux? Who's Master of the World? What's going on? And when I saw your tweet, it said, "Oh yeah, oh cool, the Plodux is coming back. Awesome." I'm like, yeah, of course, Doug is going to know who this character is and the whole backstory for it. Suzanne, true that, Sean. Scott, I like him, always have, but he makes poor life choices. I mean, Emma's great, but Jean was amazing, and his wife. Exactly. And she deserves better. She deserves better. Suzanne McGinnis, considering all they went through together, you figure he would value their friendship a bit more. Right? Aaron Nardone, what's going on, dude? I hear one of my favorite comic book series, Star Trek Next Generation Mirror Storyline, is getting a part 3. Yes, I am a fan. That is awesome. That is genuinely awesome. Good to hear. Very good. And I figured it's gonna conclude, this volume 2 is gonna conclude next week, this coming Wednesday. Can't wait to read it. It looks like it's gonna be epic. But yes, it should just keep on getting limited series coming out. And yes, limited series is coming out as opposed to an ongoing. I don't want that kind of pressure on anybody. I want people to be like, okay, I've got a great arc, let's do it. Oh, I've got another great arc, let's do that. Don't just, put the pressure on somebody of, here you go, let's just keep it open, what's going to happen? Nuh-uh. I want full creativity on that. Kevin is like, hey everybody. Rick Jones died, Doug. Sean, there's a nicer way to say it. Go Skill, did you hear what Tom Holland said about Avengers 4? He revealed a big spoiler. No, I do not. Could you send me an email on that, dude? Go on my front page and you'll see my private email. Or, excuse me, actually go on the Facebook and send me a private message on the Facebook group, please. Yeah, I want to know what that big reveal is. Excuse me, Matthew Stoner. Hello, Professor. Hello, Matthew Stoner. Akuma Ranger, you know what, Sean s.h.i.e.l.d.? Marvel should get Jeff Lemire to do the new series. Ooh. Rory, Professor, have you ever been to the Comic Warehouse in Kitchener? No, I have not. But if you want to hang out and we'll take a drive over there one of these days, hit me up. Sean plus Suzette, like, you guys are going back and forth. Oh my God. Yeah, it's in the comics, Doug says. Last time I read something with Rick Jones was Avengers Forever. Ooh, that was a good one. I was actually planning on doing Avengers Forever, but I haven't gotten a response back from the writer, and I'm very disappointed in that. Disappointed, whatever. I'm not a big enough channel to warrant that. If I were a much bigger channel, maybe I would actually get a response back. So I get it, I guess, but we'll see. We'll see. Do you think Juggernaut... Thanks for that spoiler, Matthew Stoner. I did not know about that one. Not a big deal. You know what? Like I said, I'm probably going to go and see it tomorrow. So I don't really care about spoilers. But that was one where it's like I'd heard rumors, and now all of a sudden it's just like, hey, F you. I'm joking. I know it wasn't like that. And I understand excitement. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in the slightest bit upset over that, dude. Literally, like, a spoiler is a spoiler. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know there are people who are like, the movie's been out for, like, people are like, oh, I hope that wasn't a spoiler for Infinity War. The movie came out a month ago. If you haven't seen it yet, you're not going to see it. I'm not going to try and, cater to your sensitive ego and your sensitive, I don't want spoilers until it comes out on freaking DVD, okay? I'm not going to do that. So, people just want to go out and red box it. Or, as Nerdator Doug and I would say, purple box it. You guys got to go and see the Marvel Face Rip games that I ran on Nerdarchy to understand more about that. You want to be in on the inside joke? There it is. So, Suzanne, yes, mainly alternate reality kids. Though, mind you, Nathan is Maddie's. She never gets proper respect for that. Correct. Correct. Anyone excited for... Ghost Skills looking out for my sensitive ego. It's cool, dude. Kevin, anyone excited for... but also, thanks, Ghost. Anyone excited for Amazing Spider-Man 800? What covers are your favorites? Yeah, there's like 12 different covers. I think they're giving a bunch of those for free to the comic book stores, which makes me happy, because that means that the comic book stores are going to be making the real money off of that, not the comic book company. So that's a good thing. I'm liking that I'm hearing that. But, yeah. Anyway, I don't know how excited I am for it. We'll see. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, let's see. Let's see what happens with it. I've liked Slot's run so far. I'm cool with it. As far as which cover I'm going to get, I'll go there. I'll see them. I'll make the decision then. I don't even think I saw them all. I think I did, and I was just like, cool, 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 cool. Next. So... yeah, we'll see. I'm not as excited as I want to be for it, but that's not on me to be excited. That's on Slot to make me excited. Let's see. Sean Sidrai. Oh, wait. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Joe Fisher, what's going on, dude? I'm doing good. How you doing? In Joey's voice from Friends. How you doing? Let's see. Bang, bang, bang. I just wish Brian Hitch wasn't the artist for Hawkman. Wow, am I really that far behind on comments? Jeez! Or as Rory MacArthur would say, Jesus! And I probably butchered that. So here, let's aggressively relaxing. What's going on, dude? Looks they're going to Lieutenant Worf him in Weapon X. The Weapon H. That's always great to hear that reference. True enough, just adding it to the show list. Oh my God! Don't worry, Matthew Stoner. I ain't bothered at all. Jesse Johnson, I love how positive your channel is instead of negativity like so many others. Yeah, dude, if you can't have fun with your comic books, why are you reading them? That's the way I look at it, you know? It's literally like, it's a shtick at that point. I'm not interested in a shtick. So, Man-Thing will be in Champions number 22. Really? Okay, sweet, sweet. Also, Champions 22, I think, is going to tie up the, there's going to be an Infinity Countdown tie-in for the Champions. 2 issues, actually. And I talked to Zub directly, and he's like, here's something I'm going to be doing that nobody else is doing. I'm actually going to tie them in so that if you do read them, they're going to help you to understand what's going on in the Champions, which you will get it anyway, but so it's going to be like you can read Champions number 21, then Infinity Countdown Champions number 1, then Champions 22, and then Infinity Countdown Champions number 2, and then Champions number 23. And I don't know if I have all those numbers correct. It might be a number earlier for each, but either way, that I think it is actually a number earlier each. But anyway, they are actually going to fit in with each other. So that is awesome. Again, one of the many reasons why I love Jim Zub as a writer right now. The guy is freaking amazing. True. What is it? Suzanne, true. I'm probably one of the few people who love soap opera dramas of alternate timelines, and yes, bring me the drama and the possibilities. Yeah, you know what? I know a lot of guys will be like, I don't like soap opera drama, and I'm totally with you, man. I used to watch General Hospital with my ex-wife, and we still wind up being exes. I went above and beyond, man. But regardless. Yeah, the soap. I actually liked Sunny. I loved Sunny's storyline in there. Like, it was a great mobster story. Anyway, what do you call it? I used to also watch WWE, and there's soap opera drama there. That's like soap operas for guys. Instead of splashing drinks in each other's faces, they hit each other over the back of the head with a steel chair. It's the same thing. It's potatoes, potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Tomatoes, tomatoes. But what do you call it? Also, comic book drama. Yes, I'm totally into it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep into the idea of like, oh my God, this guy is with this girl now, and this guy's with that guy now, and oh my God, I just don't really care. You know what I'm saying? That can be fun. It can be fun. The X-Men wedding special, I heard some good things about it. I heard an amazing thing about it. I'm just saying, keep your eye open for that. I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give anything away. Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 6, they will go after another fits and start back on another loop. Awesome. I also just saw today that they're planning on bringing back Graviton, which could be interesting. So, awesome, and don't forget to check out Graviton Explained in a Minute. 10 things about Graviton Explained in a Minute. I'm just saying. Guys, here's a question. Should I get rid of the Explained in a Minute thing? Because I can never keep these down to a minute. And I know that by putting on Explained in a Minute, people get the expectation, but then they see it's like 2 minutes long. It's like, dude, it's not really a minute. It's 2 minutes. What's going on? So, and, you know, should I just make it 10 things about instead of Explained in a Minute? You, seriously, let me know. No, Bill, don't tell us his sadness. What's going on, Susan? What did I say wrong? What did I say wrong? Cyclops is love-hate to me. Yes, Ghost Skittle, he is. Barry Lamb. So, what's going on, dude? Professor, have you read any Gideon Falls series? You asked me that. I guess you had to ask me again because I didn't get to it. That's why I got to hurry up with these comments, man. People are going to be like, dude, I asked this a year ago. James Hayes, what's going on, brother? It's right up there with Hank Pym slapping his wife. No! I don't like that he slapped his wife, but I don't like the drama that he received afterwards. I love Hank Pym's character, but they did also turn that into a mental health issue, which is perfect for me. I love that because that's something that's not addressed enough anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Is mental health. Like, that's, like, for me, that's a big thing, because I got an associate's degree in sociology. I know associate's degrees don't count anywhere but America, but yes, I got a 2-year degree in sociology. After I transferred my credits from psychology, which I thought I was going to do. I was actually doing that through correspondence while I was in the military. And then I was just like, psychology is dumb. I don't like it. And then it turns out I'm in love with psychology now that I'm older. And I understand what they were trying to teach me at the time. But I was just some young teen studying psychology back then. It's like, psh. So anyway, yeah, I sunk all of my credits into sociology, finished up another year of that, and boom, I've got a degree in an associate's in sociology. And I love sociology. I love talking about social issues. It's great being, like, it's hard for me now to not understand, or it's hard for me to get how so many people can't understand the different social issues that are out there and to still be the whole, yeah, I'm just worried about me thing. It's like, no. If you're only worried about you, then you're not worried about yourself. You're not worried about anybody, because we are a community and no man is an island. And I mean, no human being is an island unto himself. We have to be social because, like, the big rich guys up on top, they're not thinking that they're islands. No, they're working together, and they're all colluding and doing their own thing to you know, sway everything into their favor. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, you look at unions, the last bastion of hope for America, for the working class, because nobody else, you find me one other group in this country that is fighting for workers' rights besides a union. So all the negative press that we hear about unions, brother, please, sister, please, tell me, where else are you ever going to find somebody in America where it's a group dedicated towards worker rights? You know what I'm saying? So the demonization that the upper class has colluded to throw shade onto unions, no, dude, don't believe the hype. Literally, Flavor Flav in the background. Yeah, don't believe the hype. All right. Chuck D said it better than anybody. Nerder Doug, man, like, you are so into the role-playing games that I forget that you know about comic books so much. So it's always surprising to me that you know who Phil Noto is. What do you call it? It's like me, like when somebody's like, oh wow, you do comic books and role-playing games? Yes, I do. I know where my bread and butter is, but I also know where I enjoy. Like, I got a Star Wars game that I'm playing tonight. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait for that one. That's the one where I'm a Jawa. I'm playing a Jawa. Utini! But, yeah, freaking, it's always a fresh reminder that you know so much about comic books also. Joe, Alex will always be my favorite Summers brother. The older dog, there you go. Ghost Skittle, should Transformers films be rebooted? Yes. But more than that, I think that they should just remain cartoons. I don't know, like, Transformers the movie, the original, back in, like, 1985, 86, whatever that was, I read the 3-issue limited series comic book before I saw the movie. that was the best to me. There's never going to be anything better. It's not just nostalgia. It's genuinely not. I've self-investigated that. Yeah, 692. Okay, so I did that right in my head then. Thanks, Brevin Campbell, about the Avengers thing. Okay, moving down more. I love the Major and Joe Fisher. I love the Major Inferno crossovers. Remember MJ killed Gold Snakes? That came to life. Yeah, dude, just Wolverine attacking a mailbox. You know what I'm saying? Alone, or was it the lamppost? I forget. Both were involved, but like that was the best. I'm just like, what the hell is going on with this? Remember double numbering. Yes, Brevin Campbell, I'm glad that they're going to be doing the double numbering. It's probably the best idea they've ever had, because they've needed to address that forever. Comic Boom, what's going on, brother? I did not do Gideon Falls. I'm thinking of Oblivion's song. Oh, yes, you're right. I am missing those. Holy crap, yes, Gideon Falls is different. Gideon Falls is Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire's project that he'd been working on. It is Jeff Lemire, right? I think. Anyways, yes, he's been working on that for, geez, since his university days. Yes. Okay, Oblivion Song is the one. Yes, okay, and Gideon Falls is the other one. Did I read issue 2? Did issue 2 come out yet? Crap, yes, that. Oh, wow. That's something else. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, Gideon Falls was different. Yeah, Oblivion Song was the Robert Kirkman thing. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Gideon Falls is actually it's supposed to kind of be a horror story, a ghost story kind of thing. The farms of, what are they, in Utah or something like that, Oklahoma. Anyway, yes, that's a very different story, and he's actually written versions of that story, multiple different versions of that story, and he always winds up coming back to it. And I forget who the artist is who he's trying to collaborate on it. I did a review for issue 1. I don't know if issue 2 came out. If it did, it literally snuck right by me. You know what I'm saying? So that, yeah, shoot. I would definitely have read that if I knew that issue 2 was out. I'll jump on that if I find it. What do you call it? Suzanne, oddly... Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal being Mysterio confirmed. Affleck staying as Batman. Awesome, Ghost Skittles. That is awesome. Do you like Power Rangers? I do, but I don't like them enough to keep on reading the Shattered Grid comic book. I think I'm just going to do that in a Spotlight on Story when I get the whole volume together. But that was quite a shock reading that first issue. So, Suzanne... Oddly, I kind of like Scott for those complexities because he was a dickhead, but his heart was in a good place. Was it? Excuse me, I think his heart was in a selfish place, personally. Bad choices, but the want to do good rang good, that's my opinion. I hear you. You know, like, it is a funny thing about commitment. It's like if you've committed to someone through marriage, do you stay with that person through thick and thin just because? Do you disregard the idea of a divorce, whatever? But it's the idea that, like, the way he did it. I understand that you could grow apart from someone or you love someone more. It's a hard thing for another person to have to, you know, comprehend. You know, it's a hard thing for another person to have to stomach. It's like you're leaving me for someone else because you love them more than me. You know, it's a messed up thing, and there are so many confines to society. I'm not saying that I myself would be okay with polygamy. I'm not discounting it, but I'm not, you know, advocating for it. But I literally look at it as it's nobody else's business except the people who are involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the government should get involved. I don't think other people's opinions are valid outside of their own personal choices. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing I feel about homosexuality. It's the same way I feel about all of the LGBTQ community, what do you call it, issues. It's like, it's nobody's business except theirs. You know what I'm saying? If they want to get married, what's the freaking problem with that? If somebody wants to have more than one wife, what's the problem with that? If someone wants to have an open marriage, what's the problem with that? If a woman wants to be with 2 different guys or 8 different guys, what's the problem with that? You know, like, literally, that's nobody's business but the people involved. You know what I'm saying? So the idea of, oh, I'm going to leave you to be with somebody else, I think that's more of a, like, again, that's my sociology concept. That's more of a, you know, society dictates I can only be with one person at a time. Maybe that works for most people, maybe. but at the same time, it's also a lot of brainwashing. It's up to the individuals and see who's cool with what. It's like if Madeline Pryor would have been okay sharing, that's a really weird way to look at it, but literally sharing, then what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? And if Jean would have been okay with it also, it's like, oh, it's actually a clone. If it's a weird thing, like I'm with my wife, I love my wife loves me. I think she does. Let me text her and find out. But anyway, if I were cloned, would it be cheating if my wife knowingly slept with my clone? Think about that. See, I was also really into philosophy. Love philosophy. And that's just one of those really weird things where it's like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mind asking those kinds of questions, thinking about those kinds of questions. Like, it's a ludicrous, absurd concept right now in the year 2018 to consider something like that. You know, because like it's not going to happen right now. Unless, you know, China's been you know, a lot further along in their research than I thought, because they don't have the same moral scruples that Americans have. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that. It goes against what God preaches. Shut up, dude. Just shut up. Who's God? Who's God? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's... anyway, so the situation with Jean and all that stuff, it's like, it's the idea that he didn't even divorce her. He didn't divorce Maddie. He literally just said, yeah, I'm out. Really? Just like that? That's not cool. That's not cool. But it also says a lot about Jeannie. It also says a lot about Jeannie that she accepted it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. B. Go Skittle. Gideon is your name too. No lie. Oh, cool. I just want to see your opinion on Watchmen. I just read it for the first time. Oh, did you? Okay, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And a lot of the like, I'm going to give you an example of one of the concepts. If your favorite character was Rorschach, then Alan Moore doesn't like you. And I'm being facetious with that, but he wrote Rorschach to actually be a Mr. A character, which is a Steve Ditko character. So I did Rorschach Explained in a Minute, where I explained some of that, and in the comments we talked about a lot, but you can go and check out Rorschach Explained in a Minute for that. But yeah, dude, he wrote Rorschach to be the character that everybody was going to say, this guy is clearly crazy, this guy, he's too extremist, it's got to be this side or the other, he doesn't understand the concept of middle ground, he's obviously not necessarily the bad guy, but he's nowhere near the hero. So when everybody else was like, Rorschach is the coolest, he's like, I've lost so much faith in the comic book community because nobody got what I was trying to get with that. It's like at the end, I can't live with knowing this information and knowing that for the greater good, we can't just leave things like this. He didn't get that people loved that. You know, he wrote it so that people would be like, wow, Rorschach is just so stupid. I don't want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So that things like that, that's interesting. Like, hearing Alan Moore's side of it is cool for me. It's cool. I don't even have to agree with everything he says, but hearing where the ideas came from is golden to me. He's easily one of the best. I'm so sad he doesn't write comics anymore, you know? But it is what it is. Joe Fisher, go Skittle in the early... Okay, you guys talk to each other. Jesse Johnson. Can't remember. Jimmy Johnson. Okay, I had a bully when I was a kid. When I was in 5th grade. Yeah, his name was Jimmy Johnson. I was living in Ohio at the time. There was a bully, and his name was Jimmy Johnson. So I see Jesse Johnson. I'm like, oh man, that's simulation right there. Huh, that's weird. Like, yeah, he was actually a bully. He actually used to beat me up a lot. And it's actually when I first started learning the martial. I started learning martial arts when I was 8, but I didn't get good and comfortable with it and confident in myself and in my abilities until I was 10. So like, that's just a funny thing. Like, I remember the day that the last day of school before Christmas vacation in the 5th grade, I got jumped. I had my sister, my stepsister, and my stepbrother with me, and I was walking them all home, and I got jumped. There was snow all over the place, and geez, there was I probably shouldn't be saying everybody's names, but there was Jimmy Johnson, and there was 2 others. Those 2 had brothers who weren't even in the school, but they were there. and there was some other kid that I didn't know, and I remember like they they actually jumped me and started beating me up in the snow, and this was the first time I actually learned how to fight back. I know I'm 6'5" now, and everybody looks at me and they see me as the big guy, and it's like, no, in my head I'm still the little guy that when it looks like a fight's coming on, my hands start to shake and I get really like really nervous, like holy crap, you know what I'm saying, and I'm thinking hold back because I know what I could do, but also I'm going to get into a fight, and I don't like getting into fights. So it's a weird thing, and I haven't gotten into a fight in forever, but the idea is, like, yeah, my hands actually start to shake when that happens because I'm still in my head, I'm still the little kid who used to get jumped and beaten up all the time. I was the first grader who got beaten up by the fourth graders who thought that I was left back a whole bunch of years. So, yeah, I see that name, and it just reminds me back that day. I actually got jumped, and the one kid, Sean, jumped on my, like I was, the one kid, Jimmy, knocked me down. I was on my hands and knees, and I was trying to push myself. I was actually on my face, and I pushed myself up to my hands and knees to get up, like the snow just in my face, and I couldn't see. And then this one kid, Sean, jumped on my back and just started hitting me like across my jaw from behind like this. He was like riding me like I was a horse, and just bang, bang, hit me on both sides. And I remember, like, in my head, I was just like, I know what to do. And I, like, turned around fast as I could and just back-fisted him, like, in the mouth. And the dude went flying! And I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me right now? And it landed in the snow, and I stood up, like, and I just ran. Like, I was yelling at everybody, just run! Just run! And I had to, like, I could, of course, bolt past all of them, but I couldn't. So I had to, like, push them ahead. Keep going. And, like, wow. And there were a lot of fights that happened afterwards for them to finally realize that there was no way any of them were going to take me one-on-one. And it's just like the funniest thing to remember all that stuff. But yeah, like that kind of reminded me a little bit about the old bully days. So wow, that's funny. That's funny. We can still be friends, Jesse. Spotlight on Spider-Girl. I'm always surprised when I go to Gotham Central and I see it's like $80 for the first appearance of Spider-Girl, because she was cool. I didn't think that everybody else thought that she was that cool, though. But yes, I do want to do a, if I'm going to be doing a spotlight on her, I will absolutely be doing a 10 Things About. So yes, that will absolutely happen. That's, I don't even need to write that one down because I already know that cycles in my head every so often. Animal Mother 80, what's up? How you doing, dude? Rory MacArthur, it wasn't a bad attempt on the accent, but it still sounds better in my head, right? What's your favorite Stormtrooper helmet prequel trilogy? It's already there, dude. Come on, the New Order helmet is the coolest to me. It's so awesome. I like the original Stormtrooper one, but I've even got the one figure. Oh, right up here. I love the New Order helmet. It is, to me, like, I love the look. Absolutely love the look. And this is one of those full die-cast figures. I was hoping to get a whole bunch more of them, but one day. Anyway, nice Cap shirt. Comic his, yes, from the Winter Soldier. Love it. So, do you like Power Rangers? Ansel that ghost. Sean, Grant Morrison might write Green Lanterns. Yes, I saw that. That would actually be cool. I guess I'm going to have to jump on the comic book if that's the case. Darn it! I'm trying to back off of reading so many comic books and get more other things done. Will Bucky or Sam still be Cap in the MCU? I don't know. Alpha Flight CW show for the win? No, not CW. Don't do that. I still think Peter Dinklage should be Puck. Joe Fisher, yeah, I think that he could, yeah, why not? He could absolutely do it. Why not? He just got to learn how to do cartwheels. Maybe he already knows how to do cartwheels. Ghost Skill, Disney will get no problem. Disney might even make a new offer. Yeah, I'm sure they would absolutely make a new offer if they had to, and still keep the original back payment on the table. Animal Mother, let's have Disney do an Alpha Flight movie. Whoop, whoop. Yes, absolutely. Crap, why does it jump? And I just saw somebody, like, said my name. So that at least will be easy to get to. Okay, there we go. Oh, apparently more than one person did that. Are you kidding me? Did this really go that far? There's no way. What is this? How did that happen? That's not cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to start. Oh, okay, good. Yes, Peter is a Pip. Peter as Pip. That would be funny. I don't really like Pip the Troll that much. Who would win, Jean Grey or Turk with the Mind Jam? Jean Grey. Come on, Sean. Mark Guerrero, what's going on, dude? Who do you think should be the next big MCU threat? Galactus, Kang. What do you call it? Yes, Galactus would work, but I think that it would make sense to have Kang. He would just be perfect, for the character. Aggressively relaxing. Message redacted. Expletive deleted. Suzanne, I need my X-Men back with Marvel. Yes. Am I the only one that feels that if a lot of that old heart has gone out of the X-Men, Xavier's dream seems to be lost in the shuffle to me? And I hope that they go back so they can get the love that they deserve. Yes, absolutely. Seriously, it's like 100% agree on that. Too much has been lost. It's not even the X-Men at this point. It's Logan, not anymore, and now it's going to be Magneto and Professor X, and just them going back and forth. It's like, I get it. It's a system that works, but it's a system that's quickly getting played out to me. You know what I'm saying? Just let it rest, man. Let it rest. Yes, Doug agrees with Kang. Go Skittle. Could the kid of Tony and Pepper become Kang? It could happen. Get some Iron Lad in there. Raven, I think the Sci-Fi Channel would do a good Alpha Flight show movie. Let's back off on. Let's let them keep doing what they're doing now. I remember Dune, and Children of Dune, and I know, of course, of Krypton, but I also remember that they've done a whole lot more bad than good. Does anybody remember Dog Warriors? Like, just come on, man. Let's calm down with giving everything over to sci-fi right now. Sean agrees with me about Iron Lad. Mark Guerrero, who do you think is better, DC's Crisis events or Marvel's Infinity events? The Crisis events were huge, and they were more game-changing, but Marvel's Infinity events led to so many more stories to span out of them. So I'm going to have to go with Marvel's Infinity events. Yeah, and again, the Crisis, like the first Crisis was amazing, but all the other Crises were just a way to reboot things and to make the continuity more convoluted, like to the point that it's almost insanity. Which version of Superman is your favorite? Pre-Crisis, post-Crisis, Rebirth, New 52? It's like, dude, stop. Just stop. Every 5 years rebooting everything. I get it, but stop ruining my characters, man. The New 52 killed it for me. New 52 just absolutely murdered it for me. And I've gotten into that before. Animal Mother. Kang would be badass, but I bet Galactus. You know, it'd be interesting if it was Kang, but he actually summoned Galactus. You know what I'm saying? Or like Kang had to come and he was the bad guy, but then it turned out that if they had a charismatic enough actor, he could be like Loki, and then he becomes the good guy-ish, because it's like, I don't want Galactus to take Earth, because I've got plans for Earth in the future. So he's the bad guy first, then Galactus comes, and then Kang has to be the good guy all of a sudden. They could totally do the Loki treatment on him. Get next for Fantastic Four. There you go, Animal Mother. Joe Fisher talking to Suzanne. Wade's... come on, Animal Mother. Wade doesn't suck. Pro SJW. Yes, he does get... that's a hard one. He does get on the platform. Yes, he does. But he also has a higher sense of responsibility. So I get it, but at the same time... what do you call it? At least... here's the thing. I'm not a fan of the SJWs because they're all about taking away freedoms of speech and things like that. But at the same time, when you look at the far, that's the far left. But when you look at the far right, tell me something. Which one would you actually rather be with? The guys who are just like, we're going to talk about Jesus and use a whole bunch of fake, analogies with Jesus and say that we love Jesus, but we're not going to do anything that Jesus would ever do. Like, let's just be realistic for a second. If Jesus, and I'm not a particularly religious person, all right, even though I could tell you about every religion ever made, I studied. If Jesus were to come back, Do you think he'd more likely be with the far-right conservatives who claim Jesus, or with the far left and the SJWs who'd be like, we need to actually protect people who do not have rights? And I'm just going to leave it at that, dude. I'm going to leave it at that. Suzanne, I did to Joe. I like that you guys are talking to each other. Avengers Forever was great. Spotlight on story, maybe. No, maybe. Yes, it will happen. Like I said, there's some writers who, when they wrote these things, I would really like to get a quick little 5-minute conversation with them about why they wrote it and what they were planning on doing with it when they wrote it. Because for me, that's more important than just me telling you that. I'll tell you the story and they'll tell you where the origins of the story came from, what was in their mind, where they were trying to go with it. Everybody's got their interpretation. This is the meaning they were trying to get out of it, and what we actually, how happy they are with what we derived from it. And some of the backstage politics of it, maybe, were they forced to end it early or something like that? What were the things that they were told to do? What actually came from them? I would love to get that from a lot of people. Phenomenon. Oh, now I realize just how far back in the conversation I am. Jeez. Do you think it was better, Crisis on Earth X or Defenders? Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a hard one, dude. That's a hard one. I can't go into that right now. I'm sorry, dude. But you know what? At the same time, these are actually really good points that you bring up. These are great topics to discuss. A lot of people do versus battles, like which character would beat, the other character. But which of the similar storylines would be a great versus battle, also, so to speak? That would actually be really good. I would like to do that with somebody else. Segment, yes. Yeah, in fact, let me put my phone right here. Gotta have comedy and drama for a great story. Yes, Dirty Doug. And no, explained in a minutes are great. You like, even though they're not a minute long, okay. They're still the same things. It's just I just put a countdown for them. I just do a ticking countdown so that it's easier for people to know how quickly they're gonna end, how long they're gonna be there for. Troublemaker Bricks, hi everyone, just saw Avengers Infinity War. It was awesome. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Troublemaker Bricks. I've seen you once in a while. Comment more so I know more about you. I know more about your likes and dislikes. Also, do you have any other hobbies besides comics? RPGs. Yes, I love RPGs. I actually just got finished watching this morning Cobra Kai. That has got to be the greatest TV series I've seen in forever. I want to watch that again. I genuinely want to watch it again. I kind of want to download, like I got them on YouTube Red. I want to download them and put them to disc so that I could watch them with my wife right now. Because she's not going to come in here and watch them here. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, it's so amazing. I absolutely love it. I want the love triangles, Bill. Give me all the triangles, Suzanne. You're funny. I also think some nice juicy secrets would be nice. Yes. Oh, yeah, literally, you're taking that right from my own head. Grant Morrison and Claremont doing those kinds of things. They're not afraid to write. Exactly. Don't be afraid of the criticism that may come at you. A lot of people criticize Bendis. He doesn't care. I don't think Bendis cares two squirts. He's just like, dude, I'm going to write these stories. You take them, you leave them, you love them, you hate them. I'm writing these stories. And that's how I feel. Dan Slott, he's hit or miss. Superior Spider-Man, dude. Best version of Spider-Man ever, in my humble opinion. But he's also got some stinkers out there. But you know what? You're just writing what you're going to write. And absolutely, just keep on writing the good stuff. Raven, keep the explained in a minute. Okay, that sounds... I would just call the James Hayes. What's on, dude? I just called it Characters Explained and dropped the in a minute from the title. That could work. Yeah, because even though I say in the beginning and the end, in about a minute, people see me writing explained in a minute. so yeah, I hear you. No, I haven't seen Solo yet, Comic Boom. I was thinking about it, but if you want to talk about it tonight, or whenever you're free. I'm not free tonight, so if you want to talk about one of these nights where we're both free, absolutely. Suzanne, true, Bill. We are a community, one love. You can't take care of yourself without taking care of others. Excuse me. When you put I'm reading too fast. I'm not speaking fast enough. When you put out into world comes back to you. I warned you I was a softie. No, that's all good. I'm actually a softie too. Like I said, I don't mind telling people that I cried during some movies. Not during the quote-unquote chick flicks necessarily, but like the Richard Gere, Shall We Dance? Shall We Dance? Is that what that one's called? It's got Jennifer Lopez in it. She's never looked hotter than in that movie. Oh my God. And Susan Sarandon is in that also, isn't she? I think Susan Sarandon is in that. And Richard Gere. Yeah, absolutely amazing movie. And yes, I will watch that movie just when I need. It's like, you know what? I'm in one of those moods. I just need to, like, literally, I don't care how demasculating it sounds. I've got more than enough accolades and I'm a freaking man. But sometimes I do just want to sit back and by myself, you know what I'm saying, and just watch a movie and just, like, get a good tear going and be like, damn, I feel good. All right, cool. Okay, you know, let's go eat some red meat and watch some wrestling or something now. You know what I'm saying? Like, every so often, you got to have that balance in your life. You absolutely need to have that balance in your life. And I enjoy watching something that's going to make me cry. Yeah, Shall We Dance with Richard Gere, just such a absolutely amazing movie to me. Shoot, now I kind of want to go and watch that again. Anyway, I loved that Johnny Lawrence was watching Iron Eagle in the, you know, minor spoilers there. He was watching Iron Eagle over and over again in Cobra Kai. Like, that is such a great movie. And when Chappie goes and he's talking to that one dude, and he's talking to him from the grave, like, oh my God, that's the best. It's such a stupid movie, but it's so perfectly 80s. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Yes, Transformers live action will always be a dead end. Yeah, Clint Mack, I agree. Also, a lot of cool work that you're doing on the Facebook group, dude. Thank you. Nerds Doug, Professor is no slouch with the RPG knowledge. Love your Dean Dad's videos. Thank you, brother. And yeah, I learned to read comics. First thing I ever read was a Cap book. I'm wondering which Captain America book that was, because my first stories were actually DC Comics, and I don't know which ones they were, because that was back in the day when people would rip off the covers, send them back to get the money, and they would take the leftover comic books and give them to their friends' kids. So I would get stacks of mostly DC comic books. I think they were all DC comic books, but with no covers. So I had no idea of knowing, and I don't still have them, so I can't go back and look, you know, where I know to look now to see what they were, but I had no idea of which comic books they were at this point. So yeah, that's really traumatic to me. I'm not crying, you're crying. The Mighty Thor, the Gates of Valhalla. I say that a lot with the Thor comics, dude. You should go and check out my That's Awful Knawful 86 #1. I'm what do you call it? I make that joke a lot with the go and check out Thor, The Death of Jane Foster, actually, with The Death of the Mighty Thor, issue number 705 of the Mighty Thor. Yes, that was a good one. You'll see my cosplay on that one. I'm not crying, you're crying. And I live on an onion farm. Joe Fisher, it was a mailbox for eating back that man who turned, yeah, with the post he was trying to put in the fire hydrant smacking the dog that was peeing on. Yes. All of the yeses, dude. That was, oh my God, just the best. Descender is the best Lemire book currently, in my opinion. I have not read Descender, Clint Mack. I have to change that, I apparently. Awful McNawful. Okay, now you're number 2, then number 3. Okay, so you're giving me points. Thoughts on Gotham Season 4 finale? I haven't finished watching Season 2 yet. Dude, I do so much during the day and the night that I don't. I'm sorry, brother. I don't keep up. I haven't watched freaking Black Lightning yet, which kills me because I want to see that so bad, and I don't. I haven't seen it yet. Number 3 from Awful Knawful. Just started watching Agents of S.h.i.e.l.d. Currently on Season 2, Episode 13, and wow, that's all cheers. Thanks for the great work you do. Anytime, brother. I start reviewing with Season 4, and Season 4... like Season 3 might turn you off a little bit. Stay with it, dude. When Season 4 comes along, it's a punch. No, it's a flying, like, Liu Kang kick. You know, like the bicycle kick. To the face, because it's just so amazing. Clint Mack, been reading Ex Machina by Vaughn. Oh, from my library. Lately, that's intense political superhero goodness. Ex Machina. Have to remember that one. Actually, why don't you, if you've been reading that, could you please do the reviews for that on the Facebook channel so that I will remember to go and read that myself? Because yes, Nerd Doug, I've been hooked on Rat Queens lately and getting into S.h.i.e.l.d. the Changing Girl. S.h.i.e.l.d. the Changing Girl just changed into S.h.i.e.l.d. the Changing Woman, and I haven't been reading it, but I saw they changed it to that, so that's cool. And I just did a spotlight on story for the Rat Queens. It's not great, it's not long, but when you mentioned that to me, I went back and read the first 8 issues, and I just set up. I was kind of tired, but whatever. I just did a spotlight on story for it. It's edited, it's finished, it's done, and it's in the backlog. I actually have 2 stories on backlog right now on spotlight of story. So it means that I'm 2 weeks ahead. So that's freaking awesome for me. I got 3 Marvel Facebook games, the videos for that in the bag. I'm ahead on that. I've got 2 or 3 explained in a minute already in the bag, not finished but recorded. I just have to edit them. So like I'm so far ahead right now. I'm exasperated. I'm at a loss for words. I'm so far ahead. I'm loving it. So if I get sick again, not a problem, dude. Just put this stuff, on standby, and I'm good. So yes, Rat Queen spotlight and story, no explained on those, but spotlight and story is a thing that was guaranteed to happen at one point or another as long as I don't lose my hard drive. Oh God, that would be horrifying. I would have to just do live videos for a while if I ever lost my hard drive, man. And I got the backup. I have got a backup. I just have to actually back them up. Anyway, so I've been catching up on Season 5 will be on sometime in June. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Power to the people. I've been catching up on old Wildstorm series. I need to start on some Wildstorm series because I know they were good. I just need to go back to the old pouches and ammo packs and all that stuff. Big guns. Deadpool makes fun of that in You Are Deadpool issue 4. Joe Fisher and I think Luke Cage Season 2 will be on June 22nd. Go and check out. I did the spotlight on story for the main bad guy there. Just saying. Not spotlight story, and 10 Things About. That was actually the second 10 Things About. Why does that happen? It just jumped. Clint Mack, Jesus was a socialist, bro. Exactly. I'm going to go up a little bit. High Evolutionary, Power to the People says, High Evolutionary would be a good MCU villain. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God, that's actually perfect. Why didn't I think about that? Yes, because they're also going to be doing Adam Warlock. He's already going to be in the next Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So yeah, why wouldn't you also do the High Evolutionary? Holy crap, that's perfect. Dude, that's genuinely genius. That is actually genius. I love it. I love it. Nerd to Doug, great point. A lot of people got into comics because of their association with the mutant drama. I want Bullet to appear in the Daredevil TV show. Power to the people. I actually just got the first appearance of Bullet last week. Yes, and he's actually a pretty interesting story, how he came to be. I was thinking about doing an Explained in a Minute for him. Clint Mack, I will cosplay Elijah Snow if I can ever afford a Comic-Con without sacrificing comic purchases. That's always a big one, dude. Yeah, that's always a big one. Get in with your local comic book store that will be doing things with them and ask if they've got an extra ticket that they could sell you on the cheap, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe just give you. When you are a comic book store and you're going to do a vendor thing there, they give you like 7 tickets. And they're usually not bringing 7 people with them. So there's extra tickets that are just going to waste. So if you get in good with your local comic book store, if they're going to be going to a close by Comic-Con, just be like, dude, or find out which ones do. And just be like, dude, if you've got any extra tickets, could you sell me one on the cheap? And just, if you're always there, the guy might be like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the ticket. Just, show up here and then you just come in with us. And then boom, I'm just saying, that might help. That might help. Suzanne, I hope Luke Cage Season 2 is out soon. Mike Coulter is so beautiful, and they better show him on Jessica soon. I want to see that romance on Netflix. There's a baby on the way, dude. There's got to be, because it's in the comic books, right? But they also mess things up so often and in a good way. Planetary. What's Planetary? Whoa, what are you guys talking about? Comic Boom. I'm quite happy with IDW's Through the Mirror. Very impressive. One of the best series no one is reading. Thank you for reviewing it. No problem, dude. Nobody else wants to review that. I'm happy to. I love that series. Okay, people are talking about Pantheon, and this is the problem with me reading upwards now. Oh, I caught up. Okay, good. So, let's go back down. Bullet is the guy that has a gun for the arm. No, that's Bushwhacker. That's the guy you're thinking about. His arm is regular, but he can transform it into that. No, Bullet. Bullet was actually featured on you see, I've got the picture of Bullseye up there. That 5-issue miniseries that was actually done by Marv Wolfman, the creator of Bullseye. Bullet was actually featured in that. That was the latest episode, the latest comic book that he was actually in. So that's very recent. Bullet is just a guy who's got some level of durability. He's really good at charging into people. He's fairly strong. He can lift like a ton or two. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He's not a popular character at all. It's a shame. Nurture Doug, you watched Cobra Kai? Awesome. Did you watch the whole thing? Dick Fillmore, hey, I'm here, just starting, right? Yeah, sure, I've only been here for an hour and 35 minutes. But welcome, you're always welcome, brother. Hate Bendis. I'll hate away. I know you do. Your hate actually keeps things balanced on this channel, man. Excellent advice. Keep creating. If you enjoy it, ignore haters. Exactly, Doug. Suzanne, they're only called manly tears. They're called manly tears, Bill. We cry manly tears. Okay, I'm a girl, but I still cry manly tears. Damn it! When you put "damn it" on the back of anything, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree. Aggressively relaxing. Silver Surfer Volume 7 and 8 make Dan Slott one of the top 10 comic. I have not read those, dude. I need to read those. Everybody's telling me it was amazing. They're like, dude, if you like the Spider-Girl by Dennis Hopeless, go and read the freaking, Dan Slott Silver Surfers. And, okay, consider it done. He used to make me cry once a month, but now that's Lady Thor's job. Nice. I got Bullet and... Oh, there you go. Good. Joe Fisher's got it. Dick Fillmore, my kids made me an emotional wuss. That happens. That happens. Ghost Seal, could Tony and Pepper's kid become Kang? Yes, he could. Can we do the segment soon? Yeah, you probably got to go to the bathroom, right? Yes, we will. Let me... Oh, good. That didn't go so far. Raven, going to buy the Return of Batman trademark, the Batman symbol, 11,000 years ago in Gotham. Yeah, you're making fun of my Detective Comics review for issue number 981, right? I'm good with that. I'm totally good with that. Suzanne, I do not hate Bendis. He's really a strong creator, but he needs to finish what he puts out. Yes, because I'm a fan. Because as a fan, I am involved and I want to see this follow through. That's my perspective. I agree. He does have a problem with finishing up his storylines. And also, he makes storylines that can't be set back to zero. Like, case in point, I understand how upset people got when he made Iceman gay. Because that's one of those things where you've just changed a very long... Like, from 1963, this character's been straight, and you just made him gay. It is what it is. It is what it is. But that's one of those things where you can't retcon. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you suddenly make him not gay now? It's like, oh... Dr. Octopus became spectacular, or, the superior Spider-Man, and now he's back to being Dr. Octopus again. You set that back to normal. Awesome, Dan. Brian, how do you ungay Iceman? So that's one of those things where all of a sudden anybody who has to write Iceman now, unless they're just going to completely ignore it, then they're always going to have to write him as, oh, yeah, I can't have him get back with Kitty Pryde again because, he's gay now. Like, that's radically changing a character to the point where you can't set it back to the way, you can't leave the comic book the way that you came onto the comic book. So yeah, that is something else. And plus I've heard a lot of people say, and they're not wrong, that when Brian Michael Bendis is writing, if somebody else is writing a story arc, he doesn't care about that story arc. But if he's writing a story arc, like an event, he expects other people to kind of jump on and be like, okay, I'm writing the story arc where this happens. I just killed this character. You've got the character alive and in your story. What's going on? So, yeah, I get it. He's not very fair in that regard. I can agree. Red Black Cane 2099. Hey, I'm early. Yeah, if it's opposite day. It's all good, dude. I'm going really long today. I don't mind. Internet user, I'm not buying anything with SJW tones. Keeping racial identity politics out of comics is good. Here's something that I want you to consider, though, internet user. Tell me what is not You're saying racial identity. Okay, so you're getting very specific with it. That's actually good. But the thing is, everything is identity politics, and why not racial? Why do we limit racial? Because, like, if you've got an American story, I'm American, that's identity politics. You know what I'm saying? If you say I'm human, that's identity politics, and that's I can understand that's going a little bit too far. But you know, like religious wise, if a character, like for instance, Nightcrawler, he's religious, he's a Catholic. That's important to his character. That's identity politics. Like, it's important to have characters who can identify with each other in multiple different ways. And to take out identity politics, or racial identity politics of all things, that literally, like, I can see where you're coming from to a certain degree, but I almost feel a lot of that is not actually you talking, it's you hearing one side, and by that, yes, I do usually mean people like Diversity in Comics talking about that, and other people who have a lot more nefarious, or at least openly nefarious means of intent, you know, saying, like, I don't know what Diversity in Comics' intent is for why he talks about identity politics, racial identity politics out of the comic books. I don't know what his full intent is for there, but without explaining it, without telling me what his motive is for that, you know, what his agenda, because everybody's got an agenda. You know, if you're going to be fighting for or against something, then you've got an agenda. Be honest. Say what the agenda is. But there are a lot of people out there also who say the same thing, but you could tell that they're clearly racist. You know what I'm saying? So saying, take racial identity politics out of it, when they're saying it, it's like it's clear as day that when a lot of these other YouTubers are saying that, YouTube, you know, content creators are saying that, they're saying it because they want to act like there's no more racial divide in the world. And yes, there is. And one of the main key things of comic books, always, whether you're talking about drug addiction or alcoholism or, you know, bullying or you know, yes, the mutant, you know, situation, whatever you're talking about, it's all identity politics, and a lot of it does come back to racial identity politics. What is the Black Panther if it's not racial identity politics? That's how the character was created, by two Jewish guys. Jewish guys, mind you, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, who back in the day when they were writing the Black Panther, Jewish people were not considered white. I'm Sicilian, and any Italian was not considered white. Irish people were not considered white. Today, Irish and Italian, and in most regards, Jewish people are considered white. So I can understand younger people today saying, what, Irish people are white? You know, Italians are white, blah, blah, blah. But no, I grew up with my grandfather's stories where he told me very plainly, you understand that a lot of these white guys, that's what he says to me, a lot of these white people are going to try and, you know, like, you know, use you for their own agendas and say that you're white. But when I grew up, understand, these are the same people that called me the N-word, and I'm not exaggerating. I would love to one day go and, like, I don't think he would ever do it, but I would love to get my grandfather on and talk about the crap that he went through as a pure-blooded Sicilian. You know what I'm saying? How, like, he was discriminated against. He wasn't allowed to get married to my grandmother. They got married. He was 15. He was 16. She was 15. This is way back in the day, and they've been together ever since. They are a true love story. And like for these two, they weren't allowed to get married in any of their local churches because he was Italian. Like, that's despicable. That's reprehensible. And she's Dutch. You know, saying Dutch and Cherokee. And she always had to, you know, she couldn't tell anybody that she was part Cherokee because, God forbid, she was a savage. Dude, I'm telling you, like, I'm older, and I understand a lot more about this stuff. Like, you know, no disrespect towards millennials whatsoever, but, dude, I grew up in a different time, and I've got the stories of my grandfather from a different time. You know what I'm saying? When I say I've got black friends, dude, I've got more black friends than I can freaking count. Like, forget about one hand, or no, I can't think of a number of all the black friends that I've got. Just people from all over the place. I grew up in Asbury Park, New Jersey, dude. You know what I'm saying? Go and check out the demographics there. That's what I grew up with. I know their stories. I know talking to people. I know trying to explain my story. You know what I'm saying? How I didn't necessarily grow up that way. So when you're saying take out identity politics, you're saying take away what the Black Panther is. The Black Panther was created because of what was happening in Uganda, what the United States was doing in Uganda, the democratic state of the Congo. You know what I'm saying? And vibranium is actually a metaphor for uranium. Please go and look all that stuff up. One of these days, I was actually hoping to do something like that the past February in honor of Black History Month. I know it sounds silly. Like, I didn't want to do it too much because I have to acknowledge that today most people do see me as white. Yes, I am technically white. I'm white-skinned, you know what I'm saying? But, like, for me, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? That Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, both of them equally, were like, the crap that the U.S. is doing in trying to get these weapons in this, this uranium for what's going on in, the Cold War right now. And they're literally land raping, the people of the Congo and the Uganda and all that stuff for their uranium deposits is sickening. So he said, imagine if these people actually knew what to do with their uranium and they were able to make, their own nuclear bombs, and then as a deterrent so that nobody would ever mess with their country. Imagine, and their people and their cultures, imagine they could have their own internal politics, their own internal wars, and not be worried about colonization and all these crazy things going on. That was the genius of these two Jewish guys, non-white Jewish guys, back in the day. So identity, like, you can't have the Black Panther without racial identity politics. Look at Luke Cage. Look at Sam Wilson. I'm sorry. These people are saying take racial identity politics out of comic books. Absolutely not. If they want to be smarter, I'm not saying they're dumb, but if they want to be more intelligent than what they're being, go back and look at how those racial identity politics stories were written and write them more like that instead of this overt, I'm standing on a platform, the standard social justice warrior. I'm standing on a platform, and these are the messages that I'm preaching. Hey, don't you use that word. You're ostracized if you ever use that word. Sorry, it doesn't even work anymore. You're gone. You're gone. So instead, no. I'm totally cool with racial identity politics being portrayed in the stories, but they should be done more intelligently like they were back in the rest of comic book history. You know what I'm saying? But no, I do not agree of keeping racial identity politics out of the comic books. I just don't. Joe Fisher, Power. When I was younger, my friend had a Daredevil comic, and this villain in it saw people in a weird way. I need to know more. Doug, volunteer to help the FLGCs too. Cons are fun. Oh, I don't know what the FLGCs are, but okay, dude, yeah, if that sounds like potentially good advice, depending on who the FLGCs are. But yes, sandwich with jam? What? Dick Fillmore, come on. Just interesting. Okay, you guys talking to each other. Oh, it keeps on jumping. Right on planet. Okay, I'm just going to go from here. I'm sorry if I'm missing too many. Poet Near the Castle. Okay, you just know. Welcome back, dude. Planetary by Warren Ellis is about an amnesiac that gets recruited by an organization that investigates events that can be analogs to. Yeah. Is that spelled right? Analogous to some comic book events. Okay. Planetary by Warren Ellis. Done writing it. Planetary Ellis. Okay, done. It's on the list of things to read. Bendis's Pearl book looks interesting. A brand new DC character with a good writer. I'll take it. The New Age is falling off a bit. Yeah, Clint, dude, I'm dying with the New Age. Like, just once again, they just threw it in there and delayed everything else. Dick Fillmore. Actually, Bendis stole Iceman's coming out scene in X2. and try to call it original. Agreed. Because that did seem like a coming out scene from X-Men 2. That's clearly where he got the idea from. Where he's just like, has his mom's like, have you tried to not be a mutant? It's like saying, have you tried to not be gay? Yeah, that was perfect, and one of the best scenes in all movies, you know what I'm saying, ever. That was a great scene. And for me, like, that was kind of a wake-up call, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yes, like, if I needed to, I was more just like, I don't care about gay rights issues at all, I don't care about them at all, but I saw that scene, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, gay people could use an ally. And while I'm not going to, like, go out and march with them, I could absolutely see if somebody says something to me in the negative, I could see trying to argue otherwise that, it's not like they can help it, and it's none of our business. You know what I'm saying? So that was actually a really important emotional scene. You're right, Dick. Yeah, he did kind of call that original. Ghost Skill, do you think X-Men comics are unoriginal or the same stories with different characters? I'll tell you what Dick will say, and he's probably not entirely wrong. We do have a problem with a lot of people not coming up with very original stories. That is for me, that's a huge problem. I'm usually willing to overlook it. I know guys like Dick Fillmore are just like, nope. I read this storyline 6 years ago when this person did it, and they did it better. And it's hard to disagree. I don't want to keep on buying the same comic book over and over again. I could just go back and read this already established good story. But yeah, it is hard to have new ideas all the time. You know what I'm saying? So which is why you should try and find people who know the characters and love the characters and want to write these characters. I think that is actually really important to me. So I think that's important to everybody. Clint Mack backing up the planetary must-read material. Bill, it's been almost 2 hours to do the segment. Okay. Being told to preach. I think more people are mad at the minority characters taking main character spots, but that's just me. Yeah, I hear you. I think it was just done in exasperation. It was too much too soon. Like the Kamala Khan thing was a great idea. The Thor thing was a great idea. And those were both simultaneous ideas, you know what I'm saying? But then they just all of a sudden, hey, it's typical Marvel. Everybody just, Marvel, they were just like, hey, they like those two things. Let's do that with everybody. And it's like, nope, dude, that was way too much, way too soon. No, unacceptable. And it really rubbed everybody the wrong way. And I can't blame anybody for being upset by that. I can blame them for the level of immaturity afterwards and the way they're going to do things, but it is what it is. Hello again, Troublemaker. Suzanne, we all need to stop worrying about whether our stories will offend people. Yes, exactly. Or that they will agree with us and start writing the stories that speak to us. No, I agree. That's a thing with SJWs also. It's not that you are offended. It's that you're offended for someone else. What? Like, are you kidding? You're offended for someone else? What is that? What is that? I can see if you just don't want to hear somebody use the N-word or something like that and you just walk away. That's fine. But to sit there and start getting preachy with somebody, like, dude, don't do that, man. Don't do that. What do you call it? So, plus, when you start taking away people's freedom of speech, they start learning new ways to communicate exactly what they planned on communicating anyway. And now it's more subtle, and it's harder to point the finger and say, dude, you are this kind of a person. Like, excuse me, I didn't say any of the words that would lead you to believe I am this kind of a person. Well, no, you meant that. How do you tell what somebody meant? So you're literally making people more sneaky. You're making them sneakier by taking away people's freedom of speech. Why is Giant Size X-Men #1, 1975 a classic? They did the original diverse characters, right? Yes, they did. Once again, it's Dick may be a mean SOB, but how do you disagree with what he's writing? Yeah, absolutely, 100% agreed. I wish that you would write on the freaking Facebook channel, dude. Just write some of these reviews for some of these older stories, because, like, come on, man. People need to know about some of these older stories, why you like some of these older stories. Suzanne, some of the best stories are written by people who took risks not knowing whether anyone would be receptive. Agreed. How could you have possibly known? And you don't have the immediate of Twitter, and Facebook and social media just saying, this story sucked. You'd find out like a couple of months later You know what I'm saying? When people would have a little bit more time to see where your story was going. You had more time to write your story and for it to be accepted and to grow on people, as opposed to the immediate, nope, this has changed, this is different, it sucks. So, yeah, I get it. Friendly local game stores. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Poet Near the Castle. Just totally fixed that up. Aggressively relaxing. Just redacting everything, man. I actually read most of Planetary on Hoopla Digital. Okay, I'm saving Hoopla Digital so I can see what the heck that is. Professor, have you watched the Legion TV series? I watched all of Season 1 and it was amazing. I'm going to wait until Season 2 is finished before I watch Season 2. So I probably won't do a review of it, but I might. I don't know. Segment, yes, I will do it. Let me actually get it started. Did you like Ebony Maw and Infinity? Ebony Maw was one of those characters. He was just there for the sake of being there. Oh, no, wait, no. I'm thinking of Supernova. No, Supergiant. No, yeah, I actually did like his character. It was done very well. He was scary. Like, his torturous scenes were kind of wicked. Okay, I think this is where we started. Oh, dude, some good stuff here, man. Oh, my God. Nice. Yep. Okay, so this is where it is. This is where we start. Facebook channel. Oh, yeah, dude, I've got a video up, Dick, where I have, it looks like the This Week in Comics thing, but it's, I talk about my Facebook group. I've got Comic Book University. It's a Facebook group where anybody can go and talk about whatever. It's just a purely comic book related group. Just go and talk about whatever, and preferably talk about your favorite comic books that have come out. Talk about, you know, the newer ones, the older ones, any storyline that you think that other people should be reading, or if they have read, what's their opinion on it, and just get some conversations going. And yours would be a great voice. So yeah, Comic Book University, and you'll see me with my bandana with shorter hair. It's an older picture of me, and I think I'm wearing my black Spider-Man shirt, the black suit Spider-Man shirt. So yeah, definitely check that out. Okay, cool. Yeah, you'll have to be accepted, and somebody, one of the admins, will accept you. It might be me. I'll go on right after this. Suzanne, and if you can't speak freely, then how can we educate each other? Yes. And grow with one another? Yes. It's only preachy if you can't educate. It's more of indoctrinate if it's not educate, right? That's what the SJWs do. And that's the thing. When somebody like Diversity Comics says, you know, I don't like the SJWs, he's actually talking about the SJWs. Unfortunately, he does get a little... Nowadays, everything is SJW to him, which is a shame. Like, he's, in my opinion, he's really lost his way. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of that stuff. Everything can't be a freaking SJW. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who disagrees with you can't be SJW. Somebody who says, I think you're being racist to this person is not an SJW. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way that it works. But, like, the SJW is someone, the social justice warrior, is someone who's standing on a platform, you know, and thinks that he's got the moral higher ground just because he believes in this issue, this issue. There's a lot of virtue signaling, you know what I'm saying, which is like, you know, you'll talk to a black guy about how, you know, you're oppressed, and I feel so bad, and I apologize to you on behalf of all white people, and things that I've seen usually make black people go, you're kind of freaking me out right now. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that, and that's the SJW thing. You know what I'm saying? Being an ally is not being an SJW. An SJW is the preachy guy who's like, you can't use words like that. You can't use words like retarded because you're insulting mentally challenged people. Everything's about getting politically correct terms and whatnot, and it's too 1984. So, yeah, unacceptable. I don't like SJWs, but I also don't like the far right calling everyone that disagrees with them an SJW. That's like, dude, it's time to grow up at this point. It's really just time to grow up. Supergiant. Supergiant was the big... Wasn't his name Supergiant? Dwarf Star? Black Dwarfs? I can't remember all of it. All their names are like cosmic stellar names from the Black Legion, the Black Order. You know what I'm saying? So just the big guy who's the weight of a whatever. There's the Supergiant wasn't actually in it, if I remember correctly. She's the one who sucks your psychic energies away and stuff like that. Like, they didn't do anything really with them. They just did Ebony Maw. I think. Like, everybody else, even the two the husband and wife team with the Halberds, Proxima Midnight and her boyfriend. The heck was his name? Anyway, Corvus Glaive. Those two. It's like, it wasn't that much. Call Obsidian. Yes, thank you. What do you call it? Anyway, so yes. And, okay, so you were saying, how can we grow as a people if we can't listen to different opinions? Exactly. And decide whether or not it's right for us. Agreed. They're going to take on me clone Nibbas. Okay, I don't know what the heck that was. Okay, so yes, the new Moon Knight's coming out. This is a beautiful, like, this is an inspiring picture, is it not? Sorry, let me bring up my actual thing here. This is an inspiring picture. Like, what a great, beautiful painting of Captain America. I'm loving that. Absolutely loving it. New Exiles versus Old Exiles could be fun. That could actually be fun. We'll see. Wakanda Forever and the Avengers. Nice. That's going to be the second one, I guess. More exclusive Man of Steel artwork this time. Sweet. So, so the Dora Milaje are going to be in a 3-issue limited series where they're crossing over. First is going to be the Dora Milaje and Spider-Man. Then it looks like it's going to be with the Avengers. And then Dora Milaje with somebody else. And I think that's actually a really good idea. Hear me and rejoice. I love that Ebony Maw is one strong character and villain. Give me more of him, please. Yeah, he was cool. Oh, you knew this was going to happen. You knew Bendis was going to be throwing Superman in the, I want to say the Siege Perilous. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. You know what I'm talking about, the Phantom Zone. There we go. The Siege Perilous. What would Superman come out as? Oh man, Detective Comics 987. Is that Darkhawk? Because that looks kind of like Darkhawk. That's cool, okay. Got some Black Lightning in there. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, the Action Comics 1002. Cool. Too many delays, man. They had that as a double weekly comic. You know, saying once every 2 weeks coming out, along with Superman, and all of a sudden, where's my Superman comics? Where's my Action Comics? You know, where's my Superman? So all of a sudden, they're just going to throw a million of them at us. X-Men Gold Annual number 2. What is this? That's kind of cool, the 2 spotlights. I don't know if that's Kitty or not. That's a cool pick. I'm digging that. Okay, Astonishing X-Men 14. I'm hoping that this gets a lot better. And that is Dazzler at... That's Dazzler and first off, Dazzler, awesome. She looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And on the bottom, there's Havoc going to a concert. There's a little beast action on the side. Dude, is Havoc going to be fixed in X-Men Blue? Sweet. New Mutants issue 6. Astonishing X-Men Annual number 1. Oh, they're literally bringing everybody in. This is all of the teams coming together. That's actually kind of sick. I'm liking it, but the original X-Men as they are today. I'm digging it. No Scott, but there's Professor X. Oh yes, Old Man Logan issue number 45. This is the Elektra, the honorary I Just Killed Elektra issue. Yeah, this is gorgeous, man. This is so gorgeous. Look at that. They said that, Ed Brisson said that he's not finished with, or that Bullseye isn't finished with Logan. I'm really looking forward to that. Avengers issue number 6. Everybody's got to ride along. That's awesome, dude. That is awesome. Okay, so right now, if Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider were to offer you guys a ride in his supercharger, who would say no? Just saying, who would say no? There's a 50-50 chance that you would die. Let's do that. There's a 50-50 chance that you could actually die in some kind of a crazy accident where he would be okay, of course, the car would be okay, Uncle Eli would be okay, but there's a 50-50 chance you could die. But the other 50-50 chance that you have the ride of your life. Who would go for that ride? Because if my kids were older, I would probably go for that ride. It'd be my last ride, like Undertaker style, last ride. Spider-Man Annual Flashback to Secret Invasion. Alright, cool. Edge of Spider-Geddon, issue number 1 of 4. Yeah, what's fun, like, I didn't buy that character, that figure, because I didn't want him, but I really want the arm, because the Beth arm, the Build-A-Figure for the lizard arm is in there, the right arm. That just really makes me sad. But that's actually Hobby. That's actually the Prowler as Spider-Punk. That's interesting. Super Sons, issue number 1 of 12. Nice. Okay, limited series. Quicksilver number 4. Looks like Speed Force Goblin's coming after him. I'm liking it. Holy crap, Cosmic Ghost Rider, issue number 2 of 5. That's what I'm talking about, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Dick Fillmore, I'm telling you, you should definitely read the latest Thanos comic books. The Thanos Wins by Donny Cates. It's good. And see this version of Cosmic Ghost Rider, who just went to Valhalla. That is awesome. Deathstroke versus Batman in August, looking good. The continuation, Spectacular Spider-Man in August has Sandman. Good, because I'm actually curious because of what happened in the recent Spider-Man Miles Morales comic books. What happened with with Sandman there? Okay, so that ends that. And all right, cool. Hey, go away. Go away. Okay, there we go. All right, so ooh, Pretty Dazzler, and I hate that Phantom X was replaced by Charles. Mind you, I miss Charles, but Phantom X does not deserve to be shuffled to the back. Yeah, I agree. Joe Fisher, Professor Bill, you notice I seen like 3 different pictures of Havoc. Notice his costume is the original costume. Exactly, he doesn't have the eye thing. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with that. I wonder how they're going to fix him, because they got to fix him, right? Ghost Skittle, aren't Spider-Man and Deadpool having a crossover? They are, and it's like they're like in the 20s or 30s already with it. And I don't know if it's any good, but going that long seems pretty impressive. I'm wondering if I should go back and just read those. Dick Fillmore, why would the Spirit of Vengeance serve Thanos? That's my only gripe. That's the thing. You have to read it to understand. You have to read it to understand. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing writing. And mind you, the reason why Jim Starlin left, if you checked out some of his interviews after the fact, the main reason why Jim Starlin just left is because a lot of the ideas that he had, is it C.B. Cebulski? I forget. Or is it Tom Brevoort? One of those two, accidentally or just mindlessly leaked some of that information over to Donny Cates and made suggestions to him. Hey, you're going to do this and this and this in your Thanos comic book. Why don't you consider doing this and this also? And those were ideas that came directly from Jim Starlin. So Jim Starlin is not mad at Donny Cates at all. He doesn't blame him one iota. He's actually blaming the editor who he talked to, because Donny Cates couldn't have known better. So a lot of those ideas, yes, but Cates didn't realize that. So, like, literally, Cates is telling this amazing story that a lot of it has elements that Jim Starlin was already going to do in his story. I'm just saying, dude, it's amazing. It's amazing. And if Jim Starlin hires me as his personal, bodyguard or public defender, then forget about it. I'll be right alongside you. I'm not going to read these comic books. I'm very disappointed they did such and such. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not getting a paycheck from Starlin, so I'm just going to read a good story. Prez Vexter, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the channel. Hi, I'm fairly new to comics, and I don't have a lot of money, seeing as I'm going on 15. I feel you. I remember those days. Ghost Skittle, I think, can agree with you there. I was wondering about graphic novels. Do you recommend I read, like, darker comics, preferably DC? People in chat answer as well, please. Yeah, Ghost Skittle's right. Watchmen, if you like the darker stuff. Prez, check out Blackest Night. Clint Mack just gave a really excellent suggestion. Blackest Night is a great idea to jump onto, especially if you prefer the DC comics. Definitely, like, Blackest Night, I'm going to have to say that would be my recommendation also. Blackest Night, at the same time, it might be one of those things where all other comics seem inferior at this point, but I would suggest reading something like that. Yes, absolutely. Aggressively Relaxing. Stan Lee, Dr. Seuss, the guy who directed Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and A Wonderful Life all worked together in World War II. That's right. Right. Kirby served with Patton. Yes, he served in the something about that war made SJW writers. That's, dude, I could not have said it better myself. Absolutely. What do you call it? Yes. Kirby served in a Kirby kind of enhances it a bit. That unit was absorbed into the unit that he was in. Was it 11th? I can't remember. The 11th Brigade was absorbed into Patton's field, but I think Patton was already disgraced at that point. And also, that was kind of SJW-ish back in the day. Patton slapped a soldier who was going through shell shock. He was doing the best that he could, the best that he understood to get the soldier to, wake up. It's like, dude, we don't have time for shell shock. We don't have time for this. We're on the front lines, and your brothers are depending on you to wake back up. I understand where both sides are coming from, but I fully support Patton's idea on that. That's just one of those things where regular people got a hold of that, like regular civilians back home, like people who don't understand the military. I remember, it was just 2 weeks ago, I was in Gotham Central, and I was talking to Carlos, the owner, and this other guy came up and started, talking also, so I'm gladly talking to him also. And I said something about, when I was in the military, and he's like, oh, cool, did you serve in Afghanistan and stuff like that? And I just kind of like, I backed up a little bit. I was like, were you actually in the military? He's like, no, I wasn't. I never did anything like that. I was like, okay, then maybe sometime in the future discuss that, but I don't like to talk with non-military about my time in the military. Basic training is one thing, but my actual service is another thing. And he just gave me a look and I just looked at him and I smiled and I said, and that look is exactly why. You can't understand why I would say that, which means you would never understand the things that happened in the military. You would never understand them. So if you can't understand that, that's no longer my conversation. So I literally look at it as you're simply not mature enough in that regard. You haven't. It's not even a mature enough thing. I shouldn't even say that. It's more like, there are many different paths on a tree. Like you start at the trunk and the roots, but then it goes up into many branches. And I'm simply at a different branch. Is it higher? Is it lower? Doesn't matter. I'm on a different branch, and you can't understand what's going on that branch. I'm on your branch also. I'm in the civilian world, but you've never been in my world. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why soldiers won't even talk to their own kids about the things that they went through, and this guy can't understand something as simple as that. It's like, you're a complete freaking stranger, and you want me to tell you about my time in overseas. Like, no. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. So, yeah, just whatever. Some people just need to understand that. World War II made Talkin a racist writer. Yeah, in many regards, because the Germans were actually in there. The Germans were actually the bad guys in that regard. It's whatever it is, what it is. Omega Man was good if you're into spacey stuff. I don't know if Omega Men is such a great start to jump on for that, but when Kirby got back home, he saw a surfer for the first time and thought it'd be neat to do a surf through space story. Yeah, Silver Surfer was pretty much completely Kirby's, What the heck is going on? There's a lot. If you're 15, your mental potential is way too close to get the 10K gigabytes of data. Red Black Cane is also saying that as a 60-something-year-old man, so just understand where that's coming from in case somebody takes offense to that. Joe Fisher, the 90s death of Superman would be a good one too. It might. You know what? You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. That could be a good one, because there are a lot of people who never read Superman who read that and they're just like, oh my god, this is amazing. That could be good, but then if that's the case, also consider reading Reign of the Supermen, where the 4 Supermen take that Superman's place, because that was one heck of a story. Just don't read Superman Red, Superman Blue. Don't do that. Infinity Finale was Starlin's FU 616 Rules story. It was awesome what he did with Thanos, Warlock, and the Living Tribunal. Yes. Yep, right there, Prez Vexter. Yeah, I think I explained that. Ghost Skittles, the 2 main series for Spidey and Deadpool are having a crossover possibility. Okay, I read that. Check Swamp Thing for the anatomy lesson, Power to the People. Not a bad suggestion. Swamp Thing could, yeah, if you're going to check out Swamp Thing, go and read like Alan Moore, or actually there are so many great writers. Freaking, what's his name? wrote the Sandman? What the hell's his name? It's right there on the tip of my tongue. Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman wrote... Oh, read Sandman. There's one for you. You know what? The Sandman. That's going to be my suggestion. Go and read the first 4 volumes of Sandman. You know what I'm saying? Get the first volume alone of Sandman. Those first 6 issues. If you're not hooked on there, I don't know what to tell you. But by the 4th issue, I think you're going to be so hooked, it's going to be insane. Sandman by Neil Gaiman is probably the way to go. Go and check out Sandman from Neil Gaiman. Best ever. Like that, if you're just like a hardcore guy, if you're a, emotional kind, just whatever you're going to be into, Neil Gaiman 100% covers it, in my opinion. That's an amazing story. There's a great channel. Please sub. If you like it. If you like it, sub. If it's not for you, it is what it is. I'm not so worried about that. But if you do want to sub, Comic Book University is always tuition free. I just love saying that. Zix Nano, what's going on, dude? From the depths I return. I love the freaking comment right there. Darker material with DC, I would recommend things like Swamp Thing or Hellblazer with John Constantine. Yes, good suggestion. What the frick? What the frick? It jumped again. Come on. Night of the Monster Men Batman book was kind of cool and scary. That was interesting. And we're talking about that dates back to the first appearance of the Joker and Catwoman and excuse me, not Adam Strange. What the heck is his name? The other Strange, not Doctor Strange. What the heck was the other guy's name? I can't remember right now. But that was the 3rd story in that original Batman #1 comic. I read comics since I was 8, Red Black Cane said, and there's still way too many different basic stories for you to read. I recommend you read 6 hours a day to catch up. Nice. Princess Killer is not DC. World War I. Man, it's been a while. How are you? Excited for Flash Wars. Alright, Zix Nano, it actually has been a while, and I'm wondering, because I remember the whole, From the Depths I Return, were you called Zix Nano back when we used to talk? I can't seem to recall Zix Nano, the name, but From the Depths I Return, I know that one. So, what was your original name, if that wasn't it? 6 hours, F that. He's joking. He's just joking, dude. Read everything that Red Black Cane says with a wry smile, because he's a good jokester. Ghost Skittle, X-Men is the 3rd Dora Milaje book. Oh, perfect. That's actually really good. Power of the People, President Gaiman. Neil Gaiman, yes. See, there we go. Starman from, I forget the writer's name of the series, but that was amazing. Starman was actually pretty good. Neil Gaiman. See, everybody's. Ooh, Dark Knight's Metal, Preacher, Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Returns could be a good one too. Yes, that's a really good one. Kindly Ones is one of my favorite stories of all times. The Kindly Ones, huh? Okay. You piqued my curiosity there. Kindly Ones. I recommend the Spectre. Spectre might be a little bit too cosmic, but when you... And again, I think that Sandman... Yeah, Sandman's always going to be rebooted. Oh, actually fully rebooted? I don't know about that. That would be tragic if it was. If it were. Yeah, if it were. It would be if it were, because there's a condition. It's a conditional sentence. What do you call it? Yeah, Sandman actually has the cosmic in there because of, Lady Death. DC's version of Death in there. His brother. But his sister. But the Spectre could be good too. Why not? I'll tell you what, depending, honestly, depending on where you want to go from Sandman, that might be the way to go. If you really like the cosmic aspect of it, yeah, the Spectre would be a great way to get into it. You're talking about the 2nd most powerful being, for all intents and purposes, in the DC universe, the Spectre, the wrath of God, the judgment of God. Sandman has way too many phases from good to bad, or from bad to good. I think there's a build-up of the stories there. Plus, I was really into the occult when I was a kid, so the idea of the Aleister Crowley references in that first issue were sublime. To me, I was just reading that like, oh my god, this guy Neil Gaiman knows everything. he was saying that, and the Sandman is the reason why I started reading all of his novels, you know, and got into American Gods, Anansi Boys, all that crazy stuff, you know. Sandman really opened him up to me, opened up Neil Gaiman to me. You Like Death by Neil Gaiman, nice. I've been 6 Nano forever. I've been reading so much like manga and comics. I'm sorry. It must have been a really long time, but definitely welcome back. Just keep commenting, keep talking. I'll get to know you again. Honestly, just yeah, seriously, welcome back, dude. Hell, people say DC is dark. Most of it is lightning. Red Blackade. Suzanne. Oh, jeez. Mr. Miracle is pretty lovely, too. See, now you just made Doug your very best friend. I haven't even gotten down that far, but I already know he's going to be your best friend. Zix Nano, have you ever read the Tales of the Crypt books? They always kept the most amazing, eerie endings and spooked as a kid. I actually read the graphic novel for the original Stephen King's Creepshow way back in the day, and that was something else. So no, I didn't read the Tales of the Crypt specifically, but I did used to watch the TV show on HBO. Oh, amazing. And if the comic books were, I didn't even know that was a comic book back when that was a regular TV show. So that's awesome. The Crypt Keeper would be cool to see in a comic book. Injustice Tower of Babel. Ooh, now you're talking about individual storylines. Yes, that's a really good one. Killing Joke now. I just saw that on sale for $80. The original first print. Mind you, the first print has the green lettering. All the other different lettering are up to like the 14th print and things like that, but the green lettering for the Killing Joke is the first print. And I found that, and I'm like, $80. Should I blow $80? Maybe. Maybe. Let me pay for my website first, and then maybe I'll consider getting the Killing Joke first print. I recommend Batman White Knight. I'm going to hold off on Batman White Knight because that's a killer story, but remember, he's brand new to comic books, so that might be a little... See, the Elseworlds are cool, but don't... Like, make sure he understands who the comic book version of these characters are first before he starts reading these incredible Elseworld stories. That's my recommendation. Did Ozymandias do the right thing, Bill? Hell no. Hell no. No. He was bad from the beginning, for all intents and purposes. No, he did not do the right thing. Dr. Manhattan did the right thing, because it's like... You got to kind of go with what you did, but at the same time, that was like the one good decision that he did. He's done... That's the thing about the books, you know, the Watchmen. Nobody did the right thing. There was not one character who did the right thing in all of that except maybe Owlman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was just like, they were all bad guys, you know? So it's, you know, there's a reason why they said, who watches the Watchmen? You know? So none of them really did the right thing for the most part. Don't worry, I respect my elders. I can read that in multiple ways, and it's funny no matter how you look at it. Red Blackade. Oh, I thought we were talking about Marvel Sandman. Oh, no, not Marvel Sandman. That doesn't even compare to Neil Gaiman's Sandman. But the same from DC works too. Yeah. I knew it, Doug. Squee, Mr. Miracle. That's great. Yes, a new bestie. The Dark Tower comics are good. That could be fun. I think that they're, like, for me, they were confusing. So, Zix Nano, ow, are you hyped for the new Spider-Man game by Insomniac and the new Spider-Verse movie coming? DC has been killing it this year. Spider-Man has been killing it this year. I'm excited for the idea of the Spider-Verse game, for the Spider-Man game, but I don't actually have a PS4. I've got a PS3. And I don't even play video games on it. I just watch Netflix and YouTube on it when I'm out in the living room. So, but for the most part, maybe. Oh shoot, I gotta go pretty soon because I got my game starting, and I need to get some food in me. What do you call it? But as far as the Spideyverse movie, the animated movie, from what I've seen, I don't like the animation in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to kill it for me. I'd almost rather that be an audiobook than anything else. I don't think I want to watch it if the animation is that lousy. Night Owl slept with a taken woman. Boom! There you go! There you go. My birthday is in about a month. I'm 68. There you go. My birthday is on July 8th. I'll be 43. So, almost close. He's still 20 years my senior. 25 years my senior. Jeez. Hooded Justice is the right thing. There you go. I have an Xbox. There you go. Brevin Campbell. What's up, dude? Professor Bill, you keep posing sometimes. Maybe that's why the chat jumps. I pose? I don't know. Strike a pose. Vogue. See how old I am? That Vogue was popular back when I was a kid. Live chat still going. Yep. You left and came back, huh? Hyped for Incredible 2s. Incredible 2s might be really cool. Oh, pausing. Oh, okay. No, the chat jumps. It jumps for me. It's like if I scroll down and somebody types just as I'm scrolling down, it goes right to the bottom. It's like, no, don't think for me. Don't think for me. But I am actually at the bottom of the chat now. So, aggressively relaxing. Play Star Trek Online. It's free and has amazing chapters with famous Star Trek actors. 2 years ago, I did play Star Trek Online. I very quickly got to level 50, and then it just kind of boring after that. I had a whole bunch of cool ships, and I'm just like, it's really just the same thing over and over and over again at this point. And playing people's individual stories were actually really cool. If there's a new version of that, I might be interested. I would actually be very interested in that. But the old MMO that existed back in the day, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, yeah, it was fun. I played a lot of MMOs when I was in Saudi, dude, because, yeah, there was not much else to do. Hooded Justice, OG Watchman that beat down the comedian. He did the right thing. Not a Trekkie. What about a Trekker? Are you a Trekkie or a Trekker? Alright. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be a Star Warsy because I'm going to go and get my Jawa on and play some serious Star Wars. Let me actually pull this down. We had to skip last month for a stupid reason, but whatever. But I'm about to go full Utini on these suckers. So, Utini! Is this going to work? The battery's dying. And I'd actually have to break the seal on this thing in order to change the battery, apparently. Which is just tragic to me, man. He's not going to say Utini! Nope. It's broken. Anyway, but it's still a Jawa. So, it's season 14.5 ton of new content featuring LeVar Burton and Odo is coming. What? Dude, I will play the heck out of it if I had time. Yeah, I am going to go scrap some droids. Holy crap, that is freaking awesome. I would love to play that. Yeah, I have to find that. Let me see if I can actually do that. Bill is flashing his thick knees. They're not that thick. What are you talking about, my thick knees? I'm skinnier now, man. What do you call it? My waist is bigger than I want it to be. I'm going to have to work on that. It's summertime. We'll see. Anyway, P.A. Stewart, hey, there you are. Stop it! Stop jumping! We're the same age. I think we could fess up and admit the professor is our long-lost child. That would be funny. That would be funny. You guys come into... Bill, you can sing us a creepy lullaby as you leave. Oh, okay. What's a good lullaby? You know what's funny is this is from the Court of Owls story that I did. Okay, I was actually planning on making a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that all of the chapters for this long campaign would be based on Mother Goose tales. You know what I'm saying? So there would be like the Humpty Dumpty storyline, and you'd have to see the metaphors in order to really get it. But if you recognize the lullaby that this or I think I might have been willing to do some Ace of Fables also, but I think I was just going to stick with Mother Goose, specifically Mother Goose, not even Grimm's. If you recognized by the things that happened in the story what the lullaby was that I was talking about, then you'd be able to solve the riddle of this particular campaign. So I always love doing silly things like that. How could I join my Marvel RPG? I'm not actually playing the Marvel RPG anymore. It took too much time out of my life to plot and plan everything that was going on with that. I loved playing. Nerdish Doug was actually in it. Yeah, I loved running the campaign. I genuinely did, and so many cool things happened. It always went off the rails, and that was the best in the world for me, because I personally feel like I'm a better GM or a judge or a dungeon master, whatever, when I'm reacting to what the players are doing as opposed to telling them what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So when they just, like, all right, you know what? Screw this. Obviously, this is the door we're supposed to go into. I'm going to seal up that door and go this way. It's like, oh, well, okay then. Let's get started, shall we? That's when it becomes fun for me also. Otherwise, I'm just reading somebody a story, and they're telling me how they're going to beat up the bad guys that I sent at them. But when it goes off the rails, that's when we're telling each other a story, and that's what I absolutely love. A one-shot. If Dave wants to do a one-shot, I'm down for doing a one-shot. But more than that, I kind of want Dave to do his Mutants and Masterminds campaign that he was talking about, because I would be down for getting in that. And more than that, I need to finish my webpage, because once I'm finished with my webpage, I can start devoting a lot more time to doing the RPG, the superhero RPG that I'm trying to create. That's where I'm really, looking to get into things. That's where you can just incorporate any superhero and it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy to just be like, okay, well, here's Superman's stats, that's obvious. Here's Spider-Man's stats, that's obvious. Like, you'll be able to just, but the way that I've designed the game, you'll very easily be able to incorporate any character that you want, and then determine the power levels that you want. All of that stuff will be easy. It'll be easy to know exactly what is and what is not considered street level. What's that cross in between street level and full-on superhero? What's that in between? What's that in between? What's the difference between regular superhero and cosmic level superhero? What's the in between there? You know what I'm saying? So how does Captain America work on a team with Thor and the Hulk and Hawkeye? You know what I'm saying? Where does Iron Man fit in there? How can they all work together? I think it'll be very, like, the way that I've got this idea in my head for putting this game together, I think is about as perfect gets. And yeah, I only want it to be for superheroes. I'm not trying to do one of those cross interior, you could use a fantasy setting for this also. No, this is a superhero campaign. You want to put it in a different time frame, sure, but it's meant for superhero characters. It's not meant for, sword and sorcerer guys, unless you're making a character like the Black Knight, which is a super ultra magical sword. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to replace Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not trying to replace Starfinder. I'm not trying to replace all these other incredible games in these genre-specific worlds. I'm trying to make a superhero game. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. So, yeah, once I actually get my website done, boom, I'm all over it. Hey, big guys, sun's getting real low. Go Skittle, you're freaking hysterical. I love you, man. What's the lullaby sung to the Hulk and the Avengers to combat it? Oh, that one? That's not actually a lullaby. Yeah, that's just, the sun going... Okay, so that's where that's coming from. What's up, Alex Samuel? Oh, it's almost like Samuel Alexander. Is that Nova? Is this the reverse Nova? This is Sam Alexander doing a fake fake little name here. That's actually Kid Nova right there, dude. We could just play offline for fun. Yeah, we could. True, we could. I love Spider-Man, and but then again, that game was especially fun because of the chat. Hey, Jeff Duarte, what's going on, brother? I love Spider-Man. I'm bringing on some classics from the 60s and 90s, but reading and catching up the whole Clone Saga necessary or worth it? No, it is not necessary. If you want to understand the Ghost Saga, the Clone Saga, read the first. How many issues is it? I don't even think it's 20 issues long, dude. I think it's only like about a year, maybe 6 months, whatever, something like that. It's only like the first 12 to 20 issues, something like that. You will clearly, decisively see when it goes off the rails. Once that happens, just back out and don't kill yourself. The first part of the Clone Saga is awesome. It just went on too long, and I blame Jim Shooter for that, because he kind of takes the credit for that. Anyway, look at Susie taking out the, what do you call it, redacting some messages. Damn, all these recommendations better get saving. I'll start with Blackest Night. There you go. There you go. That's a good one to go through. Prez, if you don't like Batman, you're I don't know what that means. Comixology, Prez, good deals there. Yes, absolutely. Or just go to the DC app. You'll get pretty much everything. Sorry, my real name. It's your real name? Yeah, I don't believe you. It's Samuel Alexander. We know that you're Nova. Stop playing around. When you take 30% off of it, the Clone Saga is even better. There you go. First 12. Okay, the first 12. There we go. The first 12 issues are the best. Power started with Storm, and then first bonus weekend they had 2 Storms drop. Cyclops. Didn't the Clone Saga technically start with Punisher's first appearance? Yes, kind of, but not the Clone Saga. The first appearances of like the Jackal and all that stuff. Yes. But that would be like saying that the first portion of Secret Empire started with Captain America issue #1 way back in the 40s. You know what I'm saying? Would that be the 40s or the 30s? Actually, no, it'd have to be the 40s. Duh. So yeah. We need to make a game for the community here. I would really like to do that. I would genuinely like to do that. And I'm telling you what, man, seriously, straight out, when I actually get the basics for my stuff, and okay, I don't think anybody's actually trying to attack each other here. I don't think anybody's trying to attack each other here. Let's not do that, guys. Let's just get on. Anyway, yeah, I better get to my game. And what do you call it? They frack. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Anyway, it's about 100. Is it truly sadder? I apologize. I removed my CI message. The world is truly sadder now. I apologize. Sorry to hear that. Better get your game. Retconned it. I was sure. Well, the first reading Thor, he was down on Blake and struck his staff 3 times. It all changes. No, exactly. And then it's 1 strike to go back. Power to the people. Talking to Joe. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I'm going to RPGs, Bill. Yes. Oh, yes. I was talking about RPGs. Thank you, Ghost Skittle. Anyway, when I actually get my own game, when I get the free rules going out, and I can actually give everybody the free PDF version, which is the basic rules, the starter rules. Boom. Absolutely. We'll get some games going here using that system, and we'll just have all sorts of fun. I'll actually pick like 4 or 5 people to try and do the chat with me. You don't have to show your faces if you don't want, but I would love to be able to do that and actually get people to play the game, see what they think about the game, just do a whole bunch of different one-shots, and then see if I can get like a group thing going. You know, we'll see what happens. But anyway, like one situation that different groups react to differently. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do something like that. Yeah, just to see how the rules work, to see just how crunchy it is, to see if some of the rules start to conflict. I just want to see if people can break the hell out of my game so I can repair it again and try and make it as good as it can be. Anyway, we love each other. No homo though. You got to make sure you say no homo, right? Like, where did that come from? I can't remember where that's from. That was a funny comedian who said that. You got to say no homo. Crap, that was a great comedy special or something like that, right? Oh wait, that's from who's that idiot online? It's some idiot who used to say stuff like that. One of his voice characters. He does prank phone calls on the phone. Anyway. Okay. Oh, Kevin Hart did that also? Okay, cool. Power Girl, Squirrel Girl freaked me out the way she pointed to Donald Sutherland in The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh, Squirrel will be up for a superhero game. Okay, cool. And that's got to be it, guys. I'm sorry. 2 hours, 37 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, I got to go. I gotta chow something down for like 10 minutes if I'm lucky, and then come back and play the game. I'm literally going to be eating while I'm playing the game. So, Night Bill, thanks for chatting with your fans, and no worries, lady. I would join games. Sounds like fun. Breaking things, absolutely. I would actually like to get something going. Carlos said I could play. I could run whatever I want at the location, also at Gotham Central. So try and get a bunch of people there too. So whether you make it for online or there, either way, it would be great. PC then Budadoo. God bless y'all. Not everyone have a good one. Okay, yeah. All right, it was cool. And thank you, Bill. Clap, 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 clap. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismiss. See you later, guys. Good night, Dad. Oh, good night, Mom, P.A. Stewart.